Max and Hank, do you guys have a Fyre Fest for us?
I'll let Max go. I mean,
he's like he. You've never looked more like Hagrid.
Yeah, no, Max is in a worse state right now than I am.
On today's Pardon My Take, Week 14 picks and preview, we have a twofer for the people. Rob Gronkowski, Bart Scott, great combo. We got an all-time Patriot and an all-time Patriot hater.
Can't wait.
We're also, if you're watching the YouTube, which you should always be watching the YouTube, there will be a portion of the show that you'll get to watch Max and Hank, a recap of their 24-hour stream when they're keeping a balloon up for the entire time. And we're also going to talk about the 24-hour stream during Fyre Fest because we got both boys in studio, back in studio, fresh off the 24 hours. Before we do all of that, Chevy, there's a new family with unstoppable grit, and they're the official partners of the Pardon My Take family, and that is the Chevy Silverado ZR2 family. The first ever Silverado heavy-duty ZR2 joins the franchise to make Chevy ZR2 the only truck brand with a full lineup of trucks ready for wherever your off-road adventures take you. With exclusive Multimatic DSSV dampers, rugged mud terrain tires, and up to 14 available camera views, the Chevy Silverado ZR2 and Silverado HD ZR2, a family with commanding and unstoppable grit. Head to Chevy.com. Check out the Chevy Silverado and the family of Chevy ZR2s, the official trucks of Pardon My Take. We are a Chevy podcast. We love Chevy. If you're thinking about becoming a truck person, Chevy's the only way to go. So thank you to Chevy, and go right now to Chevy.com. Check out Chevy Silverado and the family of Chevy ZR2s, the official trucks of Pardon My Take. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Friday, December 8th, and the Patriots are back?
Fully. Well, I'd say
ready?
I would actually say it's
Patriots win and the Steelers lose.
The Steelers are done. So the Steelers have lost back-to-back games at home to the Cardinals and the Patriots.
Which, I just want to say, my guy Mitch, I know there's probably some Steeler fans that are upset at him right now, but in his afterlife, he helps out the Bears because the Bears now have a stranglehold on that first pick. He lost to the Cardinals and the Patriots, like you said, in back-to-back weeks. Though they're now second and third in the picks with 3 wins, and the Panthers have 1. But, Hank, the Patriots won a game. Bailey Zappi looked good.
He looked in the first half. He looked real good.
Really good. Hank, you don't want to win that game.
No.
Hank,
That was a bad game to win because it's like, do the Panthers have 2 more wins in them? I don't think so.
Definitely not.
Hank is also just exhausted and delirious, which I don't blame him for at all. You deserve to be every bit of exhausted and delirious, but that game probably didn't do a whole lot to wake you up.
It was fun in the first half, scoring touchdowns. Like, oh, this is a fun team to root for. But I obviously am a big fan of Mitch. I wanted the Patriots to lose, so I was all in on like a second half Steelers comeback.
Mitch,
Steelers lose, Patriots look good, but we still lose, and so that was worst case scenario.
There was one moment at the end of the second half. The Steelers would drive with the ball. I think it was 4th and 3, right? 4th and 3.
Yeah, it was 4th and 3.
4th and 3, and Mike Tomlin did the thing I hate the most.
That was actually a 4th and 1.
Oh, that was 4th and 1
Yes.
at that time. It was 4th and 1. Tomlin did the thing I hate the most from a coach. He took a think it over timeout. I hate the think it over timeout. You should have already thought it over. That's what the week's for. That's what preparing's for. And then you take a timeout, talk it over, see what you like, and then send your guys out there, run a play. They got a first down, which was great. And then they had the 4th and 3.
Yeah.
And on that 4th and 3, they thought that they had an encroachment against the defense.
Which they should have.
Which they should have. Instead, they called a false start on the center for moving his head up slowly.
And it was such a, like, the encroachment was so obvious. We said in the moment, we're like, that is the call down to the field to tank.
Yes.
Like, the Patriots realized, oh, we played well in the first half. That was fun. We got to lose this game.
And for a second, Tomlin and Belichick had a standoff, And you remember when Belichick and Vrabel had that standoff where they deleted time in that playoff game?
Yeah.
It felt like that, except the saddest version of that, where each coach was saying, no, we committed the penalty.
Yeah.
No, we committed. But then they end up getting the ball back. Mitch didn't really do much with it. I don't understand the go route on 4th and 2 at the end of the game.
Will was sitting with us, and he said that, that's just kind of if you can see one-on-one on the outside, press coverage.
Yeah, I guess.
Go for it. But, yeah, the Steelers are bad, and I don't think the Steelers are a playoff team. They shouldn't be. They're now officially outside of the playoffs, which is good for football. Like, we love Pittsburgh. We love the people of Pittsburgh. We love Steelers fans, but I think Steelers fans agree, like, this isn't a playoff team, and it's probably for the better if they get a better draft pick and maybe reassess everything.
I was going to say it's good for the Steelers that they lost this game. Right. Because if you end up having a winning record, getting into the playoffs, and then you go one and done with a team that never really had a chance to do anything in the playoffs.
Correct.
Why? Because you get one more week of being like we're still – I guess if you're a loser franchise, like for me –
I would love one more week, yeah.
I would love to get my ass kicked in the wild card round. Yeah, that's like my dream, but – Steelers fans, that's beneath you to think that way.
They need a reset. Jersey Jerry was talking that they should trade T.J. Watt, try to get a lot for him.
Yeah,
he deserves to be in. He was talking like it was like a dog that, like a city dog that needs like when you get a cattle dog. You're like, yeah, this dog should be out in the in the wilderness, out at a farm.
It's not an apartment dog. It's just going to sit around and gnaw its paws raw.
Right.
It's going to drive itself crazy. Send it to a farm.
Yeah, give this dog some space. But, yeah, Hank, congrats. You won a game.
Thanks.
I'm very happy you won.
That makes one of us.
Yeah.
But Bailey looked good in the first half.
That first pick.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
I swear Al Michaels was just trying his hardest to get Mitch to throw a pick six.
Yeah, he was
he's never done this. Yeah. He's never done a pick six, which it surprises me every time I hear it.
Wait. He hasn't?
Mitch Trubisky has never thrown a pick six, Big Cat.
Oh.
Fun fact.
I feel like I've definitely envisioned him throwing a lot of them, but no, he has not.
Also, Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard. And the Kelseys are brothers.
I have to check that because PFT, I'm no offense, but I don't know if you were trying to get us, but the Jokic stat was just wrong.
No, he leads. Are you talking about like per game? I'm talking about no total. I said total rebound.
Oh, I thought you meant he led the league average.
Yeah, a lot of people tweeting me.
No,
and I told someone that stat, and they're like, "No," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
No, it's total.
Total.
Yeah.
Total. Yeah, that's a weird way. No one cares about total.
No one cares. Well, I do.
That's a weird way to.
I care about total.
That's just a who's played the most games.
I'm not into this load management stuff. Best ability is availability.
I got it. Okay. That's funny. If you had asked me, like, life on the line, has Mitch thrown a pick six? I'm like, yeah, for sure. But he just has not.
Never has.
Never has. But, yeah, that was a better game than we expected.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. He's a better game than we expected.
I was fully prepared.
Overhit in the first half.
I thought
everyone was shitting on the game beforehand.
Yeah, a game that's so bad that it's good. But instead it was just so good that it was not bad.
Yeah.
Well, we can get to it with the 24-hour stream, but there was a portion where we were taking callers that were part of the Golden Mug giveaway, and everyone was asking about the game, and I was like, Patriots over, Patriots over, Patriots over. And then I just, like, the stream ended. I didn't have time, didn't put it in, and it obviously.
But you made some people some money.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
That feels good. That's almost better than winning.
Sure.
It's definitely
no. It's worse.
It's way worse. It's so much worse.
Like I was out of it. I came over. The Patriots scored, and they just marched down, scored again. I was like, oh, this is gonna go way over, and Patriots are gonna win.
Yeah,
great.
Also, congrats to LeBron James.
Yeah,
you're in the finals of the in-season tournament. I'll just give the floor to Skip Bayless on this take. He said, "I give LeBron this. He did keep his team together long enough to outlast everyone and win a bubble championship that deserved a cubic zirconia ring, and now he has won a cute little gimmicky November-December tournament in its first year." Impressive.
He hasn't won one yet.
He hasn't won it yet.
He hasn't won one yet.
Bruce Halliburton.
It was yeah. I mean, the in-season tournament has been very fun. It is a win for Adam Silver because it's games that no one would care about, and now we care about them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched them. I was like, this is fun.
What do you think LeBron's going to do with the money?
He hasn't won yet.
No, but I'm saying if he gets what, $500,000?
Yeah, here's the thing.
They get $100K each.
2, 3, 4.
No, I think they get more than
$500,000.
I think they get more than 100K, yeah.
No, they get 500K.
Yeah, it's enough to make you care about it.
The Pacers have 7 guys that are making less than $6 million.
Yeah, so it means...
This money means something for them.
But it also means a lot to LeBron if he can win this and then make a big show about where he gives the money.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll definitely give the money away. I did see one mean tweet that was like, LeBron's trying to do the one thing that MJ never did, leave Las Vegas with $500,000. It's kind of funny.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, MJ never won a midseason tournament.
No.
Kareem never won one.
Oh, but yeah, that's been fun. And then Juan Soto, Yankee. Yankees are going to just try to – I like this. The Yankees just keep trying to be like, we're going to hit the most home runs.
Well, Juan Soto, in that short porch environment, he's going to hit some fucking ding-dongs.
Yeah, he is. But pitching still matters.
Yeah. He'll just out-hit everybody.
Yeah, and then Jon Rahm to the LIV, which – okay.
Who do you think is going to get more money, Jon Rahm to the LIV or Shohei Ohtani, who's apparently commanding like $600 million?
I know.
Which is insane.
But Jon Rahm, $450? I still don't understand. Like, they merged, but they're not.
Yeah, I guess you can still jump leagues.
Okay, then smart for Jon Rahm because he gets to play in everything, right?
He gets to play fewer rounds of golf, make like
$450 million guaranteed.
Make like 10 times or more money. And then, just show up when he wants to.
And he gets to wear shorts, so he doesn't have the swamp ass.
Shorts is great.
That might have been the big sticking point.
Shorts,
like, hey, can you explain this shorts thing to me one more time?
Why do they have to wear pants in golf?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get
Gentleman's
that either.
game. But yeah, Jon Rahm just sitting at the negotiating table, like, listen, the 450, I don't care. 450 million, but just walk me through this shorts thing.
Yeah.
Just explain it like I'm 5 years old. I can wear shorts?
There's going to be another golf league. Maybe Qatar can get in on this.
Yeah.
Have the Emir get some money out there. Just as much money as LIV. You get to wear shorts also, and you get a cart.
And you can wear tank tops.
And yeah.
Just gun show.
I like that.
Yeah. Would be sick to
I
watch
just
that
thought of
show.
something, guys.
Uh-oh.
We're talking about
Jake's thought of the week.
Yeah. So earlier this week, didn't LeBron
Max is asleep.
Didn't LeBron say? Didn't he tell his teammates he's gonna miss a game if it's on the same date
for his son
as
Bronny?
Bronny? Bronny, I think, is playing on Saturday against Long Beach State. The NBA in-season tournament championship in Las Vegas is Saturday.
Oh.
This is a dilemma.
Well, he could probably fly. I think
No,
he'll probably get
But
a
they're
private
both
plane.
Saturday. I don't know what the timing is.
LeBron will get the game time changed.
What?
It says it's Sunday.
Oh.
Long Beach State.
But it's an interesting thought experiment.
I just Googled it. It says Sunday.
Let's just
I see
insult.
Saturday.
Let's just berate LeBron for
Sunday,
the fact that
December
he would
10th.
have missed that game.
Yeah.
That's why he's not a champion.
Is it Sunday or Saturday?
I'm looking. I see one tweet that says Saturday, but it's not official.
Oh, I'm looking at Google, not tweets. Sunday. It says Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. So no problem for Bronny. He probably got it moved. He probably was just
Sunday.
like, yeah.
I had it, but I didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you did not have it.
I did exactly what they told me not to do in journalism school.
Read a tweet.
Be first.
Yeah. Read a tweet.
Instead of be right.
Don't ever read a tweet.
Yep.
That's always a bad,
That's on me.
bad
You
thing.
should actually never write a tweet either.
Yeah.
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 Like across the board for everyone.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm rooting for the Pacers. Obviously, I mean, 500,000. What did I say? 7 guys under 6.
Live like a king in Indiana.
Also, winning $500,000 in Vegas got a rule.
Yeah, I would not leave. I'd leave with less money.
Oh, yeah.
than what I won.
Oh yeah. I'd put it all on red.
Charles Barkley definitely would.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what you could just be like, well, we would have. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's not real.
I'm rich.
Yeah. Well, except I'm not because I make, if a player who makes like $2 million a year. Buddy Hield should have to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Buddy Hield should have to do it. I think I think Bruce Brown got paid a lot. Bruce Brown, makes $22 million a year. So yeah, the 3 top guys, Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, and Bruce Brown, all make over $19 million a year. They all should have to put it all on red for the team.
And if it hits, you split it up.
Yeah, yeah. That's or maybe they put it on 0-0, and then they split.
That'd be huge.
That would be awesome. Okay, let's get to our kick it to ourselves. Again, if you're not a YouTube watcher, this is one you want to watch on YouTube because we have Max and Hank in the lower third keeping up a balloon for our picks and preview, and then we have Gronk and Bart Scott. Okay, picks and preview time. It's brought to you by our friends at Uber Eats. get delivered with Uber Eats. It's football season. You can now get almost anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. What do you mean by almost? Well, you can get a win in Game 7 for Max's teams delivers. You can't, get a win. That was stupid of me. You can't get a win in Game 7 for Max's teams delivered, but you can get wings delivered. A strong defense, that's a no. Strong deodorant, that's a yes. Pet supplies for Blake and Stella, yes. A 6-pack of abs, definitely no. Not for me, but a 6-pack of beer. Uber Eats can get you that. There you have it. Get almost anything for game day delivered with Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Alcohol in select markets and 21 plus to order. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details. Uber Eats, get almost anything. Order now. Okay, so we're going to do our picks and preview for Week 14, but if you are listening to the podcast right now and you want to watch it, I would tell you to go watch it right now, because what is going on, if you missed the 24-hour stream, Max and Hank, while we tape this on Thursday afternoon, are in hour 18 of the stream. And what we have told them is that while we're taping Part of My Take, so it's going to be about an hour here, they have to try to keep the balloon that we gave them up the entire time. If they can do that, they get out an hour early. So if you're watching the YouTube right now of the Part of My Take episode, we're going to put them in the bottom corner for the section of this show of them trying to keep this balloon up. Shout out to everyone who watched the stream, who rode with them. Max MVP, Hank. Well,
Hank is there too.
Hank's there too.
Max has been great. Max has been delightful. I tuned in a couple times in the middle of the night. I would wake up, check my phone. Max just talking to the chat, talking to himself, just keeping the people entertained. This morning when Frank the Tank went on, it dawned on me that we recreated the Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah.
And we're the wardens and they're the prisoners. I don't think that we've done anything over the line. I think that most of the activities that we've given them have been engaging, entertaining, stimulating even. The Frank the Tank video, that was hard.
Yes.
That was tough.
So we will also, after, we're going to tape in segments today. So Firefest, we will have Hank and Max on, so you can keep listening. You can hear their recap of everything. But Max and Hank, it starts now. Keep it up for the next 45 minutes to an hour while we do the weekend preview. Ready, set, go.
Okay, they're going. There was a part of me that thought Hank was going to just hit it into the ground.
All right, Shane, you want to pull us down and we'll get back into it?
They don't have to just alternate the entire time.
This is so funny.
It's actually kind of soothing watching this.
Can I just turn the logo on the TV quick?
Yes.
This is the balloon bouncing around. It's kind of like we're watching the DVD logo thing on the screensaver. It's kind of nice. Also, shout out to Max. Built us a dresser for the studio that we're going to be adding. Did a really good job with that. Looks awesome. Memes was low-key integral to the entire stream.
Yeah.
Memes stayed up all night last night interacting with them, the chat. Memes is a beast.
Okay, PFT, Week 14. I know you hate when I do this, but I have to do it.
We're not going to do it.
14 is so late.
No.
You know what it is?
It's not that late.
It's
because you're forgetting about Super Wild Card Weekend. That's bonus football. Then we get more playoff football. Then we get the Pro Bowl. Then we get the Super Bowl. So
no,
that's
that's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say was when college football ends, it always is like, wait, what? What? How is college football over right now?
Yeah, college football season's way too short.
And then we have bowl games, but it does, like Week 14. It just dawned on me that, listen, our job gets a little easier because I think we showed it on last Sunday's show. There's some games that we don't really have to talk about that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
But we will preview every game for Sunday. We have 2 crown jewels. 2 crown jewels.
If you have 2 crown jewels, you don't have one. So we have to list 1 crown jewel.
Okay.
There can be a crown jewel, then there can be like, I don't know, a scepter. The royal scepter.
Okay, so the crown jewels come later. Let's start with the noon 1 o'clock slate, and we have some great games in that slate as well. Rams at Ravens is where we're going to start. I saw that there was a report that Lamar Jackson might be dealing with his annual diarrhea because he wasn't at practice today.
It's about that time of year, yeah.
It does feel like this is right around the time of year where he's just going to randomly miss practice for an entire week and be like, what's going on with Lamar Jackson?
What's going on with his ass? That's what we all need to know. I like the Rams, actually, to cover on this. I think the Rams they're sneaky.
This is a
They've
Rams.
got enough talent.
This is a Rams for real game.
Yeah.
Are you for real, Rams?
Well,
I think even if they lose by 3, they could be considered semi for real.
I would say if they cover.
Yeah.
Because it's 7.5. So if they lose by 7, I'm going to say the Rams possibly still for real at that point. We forget the Colts beat Baltimore in Baltimore this year.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Kyron Williams has been awesome for the Rams. He is like the Todd Gurley replacement. You know, that McVay's offense, you need the running game. And I think that you've seen moments where the Rams have not looked great. He was out for a whole month. Now they're back playing some good ball. I was thinking about this game because I agree with you that I lean Rams. Even though it's a bye week for the Ravens, they're off a bye week, and they also have like the 1 seed very much in focus with everyone else losing. But I was thinking about it because Mark Andrews is out. And I went back and I looked at the stats. One, I don't give Mark Andrews credit enough. I always think of Mark Andrews as an injury guy. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not an injury guy. He's actually not missed that many games.
Yeah.
But Mark Andrews, when he has been out, he's been out 4 times when Lamar Jackson's also playing. So because there was obviously Lamar Jackson missed the end of last year. Lamar Jackson's stats in the last 4 times that they have played without Mark Andrews. You ready for these? 12 for 17, 107 yards. 12 for 22, 130 yards. 17 for 23, 169 yards. 18 for 32, 177 yards.
Yeah.
Not eclipsed 200 yards. The only thing that you could say in counter to this is they have way better wide receivers this year than they have had in the past when it was just Mark Andrews. But that makes me nervous about the Ravens. Mark Andrews is a big part of their offense.
No, the Ravens' system has been to just not ever have a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Ever. And this
Now they
year,
have 'em.
They went out and they got several wide receivers. So that's going to make a difference. But that's what I was saying earlier this year was I feel like Mark Andrews is to the Ravens what Travis Kelce is to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He's not as good as Travis Kelce. He's still very, very good. One of the
Baby
best,
Kelce.
One of the best in the league. Is he older than Kelce, though?
No, I feel like Mark Andrews is a sneaky young guy.
Is he?
Sneaky.
It feels
very
like he's
young.
been on the Ravens for a while.
What you guess an age? I'll tell you.
All right. Well, shit, now I'm going against myself because I know what Travis Kelce
What'd you think?
I'm just going to guess 31.
He's
Mark
28.
20. Oh, really?
Yeah, he just turned 28.
Same age as Randall Cobb?
Randall Cobb is 27.
Yeah, 26, I thought.
Yeah.
No, Mark Andrews, I think he means as much to the Ravens as Travis Kelce means to the Chiefs. Like, the offense doesn't really work without him. But also, you have to take into account this year, they've got Zay Flowers, who's nasty. Odell Beckham, who looks way better.
Yeah.
Way better than I thought he would.
Ravens fans can do the, and this is a logic jump that all fan bases do, but I would do it if I were a Ravens fan. I would say, well, maybe this is actually good. If Mark Andrews can come back for the playoffs, now Lamar has to get on even better page with his wide receivers. All systems go come January. This actually helped the Ravens.
He's got to learn how to play with everybody because he's not used to having those guys.
It's something that we all have to figure out a way to do. When you have a key player go down, you have to figure out a way. Like, actually, you don't know this team. This was actually a blessing in disguise
because they get Mark Andrews back, and then it's like
a free agent.
You know what? Then it's hyperdrive.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I kind of lean the Rams here.
It might be a backdoor cover, but I think if they get in 7, if they lose by a touchdown, I'm going to take the Rams seriously.
Yeah. All right, nerd nugget for this game.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Jake.
How's it going?
Hello, guy.
Under John Harbaugh, the Ravens are 12-3 in games immediately following the bye, which is the fewest losses in the league over the last 15 years. And those games right after the bye, Coach Harbaugh took over in 2008. They're allowing just 16 points per game, first in the league.
Okay, that makes me nervous.
Yeah, a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
A little bit nervous about that one. I need to know what Ronnie from where's Ronnie from? Ronnie from Dundalk.
Yeah.
Stavi. I want to know what his take on this game is.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have him on the show.
I think we're gonna have him on the show soon. Sometimes. All right, next game up: Colts at Bengals. The Bengals. Can the Bengals make the playoffs? Can we do the Bengals? Jake Browning equals Nick Foles. You know, some Bengals fans might be thinking it. Now, the Eagles, the year that Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, I think their record was way better when Carson Wentz got hurt.
Yeah,
I think they were the 1 seed.
He was probably going to be the MVP when he got hurt.
I think there was something like 12-4 somewhere around there.
But in the games since Joe Burrow has gotten super healthy, he's played like the MVP.
True. I don't know. If I were a Bengals fan, this is what I'd be telling myself.
I think it's heresy to compare Carson Wentz to Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and also maybe Jake Browning to Nick Foles. It's double heresy.
They were 13-3 that year.
13-3. So a little different because the Bengals still have to make the playoffs. But if you're a Bengals fan, that Monday night win got you at least another week of rooting for a team that is in contention, which is beautiful. That's nice. Like, if you win this game, now you actually are thinking maybe you will go to the playoffs.
It's not just that you're in the hunt; you're in the thick of it.
You're in the big time.
You're in the deep shit. If you're the Colts, Colts are also 5-1 on the road this year, so don't forget that. Gardner Minshew looked pretty good last week. Their special teams was awesome last week. Their special teams.
Yeah, they got a coach fired.
Their special teams essentially scored 10 points for him. Yeah, the coach. It was so good on your punt blocking unit that you got another special teams coach fired
And a guy injured.
Really injured.
Imagine
I think the Colts are going to have 10 wins this year.
You think Sean Payton ever did a bounty on a punter?
I'm sure. Bounty on everybody.
Yeah.
Who was their punter? Was that Morstead back then? Or was it too early for him?
I bet you Greg Williams, was like punter.
Just anyone.
Yeah, water boy.
He's like,
chain gang.
I want as many carts on the field. Oh, speaking of that guy, chain gang guy, good news for him.
Yeah.
Not as bad as it looked.
How it looked horrific.
It looked awful.
So he will walk at some point again in his life.
It was a dislocated knee, but it was a
that sounds bad.
It was a cleanly dislocated knee, so apparently he doesn't need surgery or anything.
He just popped it back in?
His leg bent 90 degrees to the side, and then they popped it back, and I think he's going to be okay.
Do they put you under for the pop back in?
They should. I would request a coma.
Like, I know it's not surgery, but please, sir.
That's again
anesthesia.
Like, when you watch players dislocate their fingers, which happens every week, and they just go to the sideline, pop it back in. That to me is like the craziest part of being an NFL player. But yeah,
so gross.
I guess they popped it back in.
That's good for him.
Great for him.
We should have made more fun of him.
They probably would have had to just put him down at that age. If you break your leg,
take out a curtain,
tear out the patella, ACL, MCL. If it's a knee, his knee in that moment looked like I'm expecting Juju Smith-Schuster's knee to look like at any moment this year.
Yeah. I've told this story before, but I was at the game when Joe Pa got rolled up on the Wisconsin side, on his sideline by a Wisconsin player, and the whole crowd chanted, "Shoot him like a horse." Maybe actually not so bad in retrospect.
Do they shoot horses?
Yeah, they shoot horses. Well, they don't shoot them. They used to shoot them.
Yeah.
Now they just euthanize them.
Yeah, make some glue out of Paterno.
Yeah, but a whole crowd chanting, "Shoot him like a horse." Joe Pa. We actually ended up being right.
Turn him into like a starburst.
Yeah.
Yeah, use all that gelatin in his hooves.
Yeah. The Bengals also, Jake Browning, we need to remember this, is a great lesson in time and place and skill positions around you, because Jake Browning looked really good on Monday night, and it shouldn't have been that shocking. It was a little shocking, but it also shouldn't have been that shocking because, the Bengals have like awesome wide receivers.
Yeah, they've got a great roster. And this is actually a perfect moment. Jake, if you're a listener of this podcast,
which we know you are.
I'd say it's probably like 50-50, right? Jake,
journeyman.
Seems like the guy, journeyman,
backup,
quarterback.
What up, Jake? We always been a fan of you.
Huge fan. Have that ground beef and that honey. Jake.
Oh, that's funny. I actually just thought of that. So the ground beef and honey, and his name's Browning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When you combine
maybe
them
that was
together.
him doing that. Like, I'm just browning the hamburger.
I'm browning the meat. Jake, now is the time to fake a deep tissue injury.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, win one more game.
I think right now you're coming off. I don't think it gets better than Monday night.
No, but that
National
was.
audience.
But you could always say there was a one-off. We learned our Matt Flynn lesson a long time ago. You got to do two.
I don't know if every GM did. If I were Jake Browning, I would walk out, take one snap, and then be like, "Oh, my hamstring! Ah, damn it!"
Do you know what he needs to do? He needs to add one thing to his repertoire. He needs to get hit really hard and be okay, and be like, "That guy's tough."
Bounce back up.
He's also tough.
Okay, so take a big sack and then bounce right back up, and then go to the sidelines and start moving your arm around. Be like, "Oh, I think they're
it's broken.
It's my labrum.
Oh shit!
I need
Where's my
surgery."
check?
Yeah, because you will, Jake Browning. If this is your body of work right now, and I mean, if you happen to beat the Colts this weekend, you have a Monday night victory in front of the world. Then you go and you beat the Colts. You have earned yourself, my friend, probably $20 million.
Although I would make the argument that Jake Browning, money's cool. He could go maybe. I don't know if anyone would. He'd have to put in more work to be like someone sign him for a starter. But he might just be like the Jim Sorgi to Peyton Manning. If you're just career Joe Burrow's backup, that's the best life ever.
Yeah.
Because you're also on a loaded team.
Yeah.
So like that might be. Like, what's the cost? If he got paid how much does he get paid? Let's see how much he gets paid right now.
He's been in the league for a while, so I'm going to guess probably around like $3 million a year.
He gets 1 year $750.
Oh.
He's getting paid $750 right now. So if you're Jake Browning, and someone offered you, he's made 1.7 total, so he's getting paid $750 this year. If the Bengals paid you $2 million and someone else tried to pay you $4 million to be a starter on a shitty team, I think I'd take the 2.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not talking about like getting a starting job.
Yeah.
I'm saying like this is a great chance for you to get paid as a backup.
Yeah, just get paid a little bit more as a backup.
For a
Because
long
the
time.
Bengals can be like, hey, we have a real backup.
You know what I would do?
Get to the playoffs and you actually would get a starting job.
What I would do if I were Jake Browning, I would try to get a Deshaun Watson type contract, but as a backup. So like I go for 7 years, fully guaranteed, 2.5 a year.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?
That would be hilarious. A 7-year, $8 million total cash
Yeah.
guaranteed.
I mean, if you're Jake Browning, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Signing bonus, maybe $50K.
You get $50K and yeah, you get like maybe a nice like Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah. Jake Browning, good for you, though. We're rooting for you. And thanks for listening.
I always take
Jake.
pride when I share a name with someone who does good things in sports.
Fans of Jake's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friend of Jake.
Like Big Cat, when Dan Campbell wins games, you're like, that's my name.
Nope.
PFT, when Mike Florio writes a great article.
I'm
you're
like,
that's your name.
That's PFT.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's cool that you do.
Yeah.
He's got 12. All right, I'm gonna DM him right now. His DMs are open. I'm just like, Jake, we're rooting for you.
Jake, fake an injury if you have a good first half.
Rooting
Even.
for you this weekend. Thanks for listening to the show.
I looked. He doesn't follow PMT on Instagram.
Yeah, he doesn't follow me, but his DMs are open, so I just hit him up. Okay.
I bet Spencer knows him.
Yeah, he probably does.
Okay, I'll text Spencer in a little bit.
Okay. Nerd Nugget.
Do.
Oh, this is early.
Nerd Nugget of the week.
That was
early.
that was a painful one, Jake.
Would you rather be in a room 24 hours with Max and Hank or have to listen to do sound?
One time?
Yeah.
Probably in a room with Max.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually jealous of them right now.
They look like they're having a great time.
Yeah, they do.
Trade. This is the I-74 rivalry.
Okay.
Cincinnati versus Indianapolis is the closest geographical rivalry among cities in the AFC with a driving distance of 110 miles along I-74. The next closest is Cleveland-Pittsburgh at 137 miles.
Ooh.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, so there's a lot of blood between these two teams via the map.
A lot of blood map between them.
Yes.
What's the closest in the NFL? Would it be?
It would be
probably
the Jets
that's
and
the
Giants.
Or Rams and Chargers.
I was gonna say Rams Chargers. Yeah, but like teams that play in different stadiums.
I would guess like Dolphins Bucks.
I think maybe Commanders. It's definitely
Oh
Commanders.
yeah, Commanders Ravens.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I got a sneaky one for you that I always forget about because they don't even play in the same conference. But Atlanta and Nashville, it's like 4 hours apart.
Yeah.
Same with
I
Carolina.
never
No,
think
not
about
Carolina.
that Atlanta and Nashville are 4 hours apart.
I would also say Eagles Ravens.
Yeah, Eagles, Ravens,
Those are
Or
probably really close.
Eagles,
Commanders.
New York too, and Eagles. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Northeast is all just jumbled.
yeah.
Megalopolis.
Okay, so that was your nerd nugget of the week was a map.
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Shout out to Bengals PR for the
Yeah.
stats.
Oh, you Bengals PR.
Well,
had
it was
to
in their
do-
game notes.
Oh,
I find
they
all
did
these
the
from their
map
game
note.
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake doesn't like come up with these on his own.
I thought
Yeah,
for a second there, I thought he hit up Bengals PR and was like, "What's a nugget?" And they're like, "Well, we're actually pretty close."
Yeah. Do they stay overnight?
Yeah, they have to.
I'm sure.
Do you
They
have?
definitely
Do you like have to like?
No,
They
but
would have to
they're-
leave at like 7 a.m.
Yeah, they're definitely doing that for for being able to wake up in a hotel.
I'm
and
pretty
go
sure
play
home
the
teams
game.
stay at a hotel too.
Yeah,
some
they
of
do.
them.
They
Yeah.
always do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Jags at Browns. I have a question for you, PFT. So there is now a report that Trevor Lawrence might play. And we like Trevor Lawrence, so no disrespect for what I'm about to say. But if Trevor Lawrence plays, does that make him tough or a pussy?
Well, that's an interesting question.
It's a
Because-
conundrum.
because when he left the field,
Right.
and we talked about this on
Right.
Wednesday, when he left the field, every Jaguars fan thought not only is this season over,
Correct.
but next year's down the
Correct.
drain too. The way he like slammed his helmet down on the ground. Again, just me. I would never leave a game like that. I would stay in.
I would never get tackled.
But sometimes a sprain is worse than a break.
Correct.
But
This is a very fine line we're walking because
listen,
it would be tough to play, but also be like, dude, what was the reaction? It's like when
Yeah.
Mac Jones was crying with an ankle sprain. It's like, I don't know. I thought you never were going to walk again.
Yeah, I think we have to look back. And I mentioned it to Chaps. I was like, Chaps, I'm going to say something to you that I will not say on the show. I ended up saying on the show anyways. But Trevor Lawrence, kind of a pussy.
Yeah.
And then Chaps was like, well, here's what he was actually crying about. He was crying because he was mad that he couldn't finish the game with his guys.
Oh, okay. That's fair. So that's football guy.
That's a great spin zone.
So I actually think Trevor Lawrence should not play just so that we can have some time where it's like, oh, that was a real injury. Then next week he becomes tough.
Yeah.
Because next week it's like, 10 days of rehab. He's back. Tough.
They need to say, like, doctors said it would take me 6 weeks. I'm back in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game is going to be weird, though. This is going to be a weather game.
Yeah. We got a few weather games.
We got some weather going on. I think it's going to be like 20-mile-an-hour winds or above in Cleveland. It's going to have rain. We might get grapple, which that's apparently weather that only Cleveland gets. The geography of Cleveland is so interesting because it's right on the lake, and it's got all this crazy wind and all this crazy precipitation that comes in. They're the only city that I know of that gets grapple. I've never heard of grapple before, but it's like it's dirty sleet. It's like that shit that you find at the end of February that's been frozen on the roads for the last 4 months.
In a parking lot, in a Target parking lot.
Yeah,
it's
the
all
piles.
the piles. It's Cleveland is basically America's rainforest.
Yes.
When it comes to how weird and random the weather can be.
Yeah, and there's so many different species of animals that live there.
It's actually a good, Cleveland's our rainforest.
I like that.
Yeah.
Don't destroy Cleveland.
Yeah.
You're probably destroying the cure for cancer.
Yeah, right. We need Cleveland. Cleveland is the oxygen hub of America.
Yeah, it's America's lungs.
So I actually think that if Trevor Lawrence plays, that's bad for the Jags because the Jags have been very good with moving him and having him run for first downs. And if he plays, there's no way he's going to be 100% on the ankle. And if you're playing against the Browns defensive line and they have a quarterback back there that can't scramble, they're just going to tee off.
Yeah, counterpoint to that, though, you'd probably still want an immobile Trevor Lawrence over C.J. Beathard. Well, third-round pick, right?
Yeah, it's a fair counterpoint. The other big injury here, and I actually think this is a significant injury for this game specifically. So, remember back week 1, I think it was, Christian Kirk had a bad game. Everyone was like, Christian Kirk's going to be awesome in this offense. And then after that, Doug Peterson said, I can't remember who they played week 1, but he's like, yeah, they played a lot of zone. Christian Kirk thrives against man defense. So he has, and if you look at the stats throughout the season, when they play heavy man defenses, Christian Kirk usually goes off. The Browns are the number 1 man defense. So that's actually a huge injury for this specific game, Christian Kirk being out.
So he would have gone off.
He would have been their antidote to what the Browns want to do defensively, and now they don't have that.
Well, so if you're the Jaguars, if you lose this game, you say it would have been totally different if Christian Kirk had played.
Correct.
So that's a good built-in excuse.
Correct.
That you have, in addition to maybe a backup quarterback. More Flacco, more fun.
More fun.
More fun for the people. Let's see Joe. Let Joe air it out. He's used to playing. That's why the Ravens took him as high as they did.
Yeah.
The story was that he played, at Delaware. He played at Pittsburgh for a little bit. He's used to playing in shitty weather. In the AFC North, you have to play a lot of shitty weather games. That's why they took Joe. Also, big hand, strong arm. This is going to be a classic Joe Flacco shitty weather game.
What's the crowd reaction to Joe Flacco? Is it full cheer? I don't think you can full cheer him yet.
I think
I did beat your fucking brain in. I'm gonna look up Joe Flacco versus the Browns.
But I don't think they ever had real animosity towards Joe Flacco. Hating Joe Flacco was like hating a dog.
Joe Flacco's record versus the Browns, want to guess? 21 games?
18-3.
Yeah. Did
Oh,
you
really?
look it up?
No, I swear I guessed.
Yeah, 18-3.
I was going to say 18-3 too.
Yeah, you were right.
I was right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good job, PFT.
18-3.
Thanks, Jake. Very cool.
So he did kill the Browns.
Yeah, but I don't think
Everyone killed the Browns back then.
I don't think they hate Joe more than they hate Peyton Manning.
I want the Browns to win this game. I want the Browns to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Browns to make the playoffs.
So am I.
Yeah.
I'm heavily rooting for the Browns to make the playoffs.
All right, Nerd Nugget.
For the third time in team history, the Browns have started 4 different players at quarterback in the season. Deshaun Watson, P.J. Walker, DTR, and Joe Flacco. In 2008, they had Derek Anderson, Brady Quinn, Ken Dorsey, and Bruce Gradkowski, who we saw in Grit Week at Toledo. And in 1988, Bernie Kosar, Mike Pagel, Don Strock, and Gary Danielson.
Wow.
Yeah, it's classic Browns. This is the quarterbacks they've had this year will be a nice little addition to that sad jersey because you got Deshaun, then you've got 2 guys that probably won't play there much anymore after this season. You'll kind of forget their names over the years.
Yeah.
Maybe DTR.
I had the stat a few weeks ago. It was something insane. Like in the last 10 years, it was like 35 different quarterbacks played for the Browns, and that includes 2 seasons where Baker Mayfield didn't miss a start.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And you also get Flacco on there, and that'll be a nice combo breaker when you look back on it. Oh, yeah, you remember Flacco was a Brown?
Yeah. Okay. Next up, Lions at Bears. I think the Bears can win this game.
So you're not insane to say that. I think like a month ago it would have been like, okay, Big Cat's trying to talk himself up, get himself amped up for a game here. I think it's going to be another shitty weather game.
It's cleared up a little.
But
you get the early reports. Like it's funny how the gambling works. Like I saw the Bengals Colts game had bad weather reported on Monday, and it went all the way down to like 41. And then on Tuesday, they're like, nope, just kidding. And it went right back up to 44. So you got to be careful of the early reports.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it was an early report that I saw. But the Bears,
look it up.
The Bears are looking way, way, way better than they were a month ago. The Lions feeling hot right now.
36 degrees, no precipitation. That's not bad.
I don't think a look ahead game exists in Dan Campbell's universe. I think Dan Campbell respects the game of football.
No, they're not going to look ahead because the Bears were almost beat the Lions 3 weeks ago. So yeah. I don't think that's a possibility. I think the Bears can win this game for a couple reasons. One, the Bears' run defense has been much improved. I think they're number one against the run in like the last month. That's what the Lions want to do. Two, Frank Ragnow possibly out, center for the Lions. Also, you know how we love to do who's the most important player on a team? And Lions fans, you can tell me I'm stupid. You can tell me this makes no sense.
I think it's Jared Goff.
No, on their defense, Aleem McNeil, their defensive tackle, is out. And if you watch the Lions, like he has been the guy in the middle who's been able to keep things together. He got put on IR. He's very, very important. Not like a name that everyone knows, but he's very, very important. And then three, Justin Fields against the Lions, they have never been able to stop him running. He's averaged 127 yards against the Lions.
Yeah,
on the ground running.
There was one game last year where he just went off on him.
Yes,
and did some very.
Remember,
fun
he had
stuff.
that touchdown where he like just
broke every
crushed
tackle.
that linebacker in the end zone.
Yes.
So, and that now you could say also counterpoint. It's still Luke Getsy and Matt Eberflus, and I'd say you know what, that's a really good counterpoint because the Bears will always find a way to lose a game. But I think the Bears might be able to win this one. And Lions fans know, we've talked about it, like their defense is troubling.
Very troubling.
It's troubling. I still think the Lions are a really good team, so it's not like trying to shit on the Lions. Their offense is elite. They just have to figure out, and they will get guys back. They'll get guys healthier, so they can hope that late December, early January, they start to turn a corner. But right now, I'd put it under the troubling category.
It's concerning to me.
Yeah.
If I was Elon Musk replying to a tweet, I would say this game concerning for the Lions defense. Their defense last week against the Saints was very bad for about 2.5 quarters. Mm-hmm. That game felt like it was out of reach after 7 minutes. No. Like nothing, no lead is safe really if you're a Detroit fan.
And they're getting, I think Anzalone's been out. CJ Gardner-Johnson has been out.
Yeah.
Like they have a few guys that are going to come back. Aleem McNeil will hopefully come back. I think he got put on, I think they said 4 weeks. And I think they signed another guy in place. So, yeah, maybe they'll be able to turn around once they get healthy. Get healthy at the right time.
I do love Branch. I love Branch. He's
a
beast. He's a monster. There was a very mean report that came out yesterday. It said Brian Branch said that the Washington Commanders said that they were going to draft him if he was still on the board with the 16th pick. And then they just didn't do it, and he's like glad that we didn't take him, which is fair. Like I'd probably be glad if I was a defensive player that did not get drafted by the Commanders. But to put that report out now, it's like one of my favorite rookies wanted to play on the team that I love, and then he's like, but they just didn't take me. It's unnecessary, rubbing salt in the wound. It's like the coach's graphic that they show.
Yeah,
that's just one. This season's been hard enough. We're losing all our good players. Our pets' heads are falling off. I don't need to know that Brian Branch wanted to play for my team.
Yeah, Bieniemy's going to be the next coach of the Bears. Like this will suck.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see. We'll see what happens on Sunday. This is why they play the games. I hope Lions fans know I do come in peace because it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I have not gotten – I think we talked about this before the season that there will be a moment when the Lions are good enough and start winning enough that I will start hating them because in division, I have not reached that moment. Like I don't hate the Lions.
Yeah, I mean,
and I root for Jared.
That would be way premature if you start with the Lions.
No, they have to like start stacking up some NFC North, titles, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, I hate them because they keep winning this, but it hasn't gotten there yet. It's still all eyes on the Packers and how much I hate them.
If the Lions win this weekend, I think I'm going to crown them champions of the NFC North.
They'd be pretty close.
I'm going to anoint them.
They'll be pretty close. They're getting close to their magic number. Okay, Nerd Nugget.
Lions tight end Sam Laporta is just the 6th player in NFL history and first tight end to produce 60 receptions, 675 yards, and 6 touchdowns through 12 career games. He joins Justin Jefferson, Michael Thomas, OBJ, Marcus Colston, and Quan Bolden.
He's a beast.
He's so good.
He's an
To have those
absolute
numbers
beast.
as a tight end.
We talked to Gronk in a minute, and he mentioned Sam Laporta. For people who are watching the YouTube right now, Max is now just doing the balloon by himself. Hank has quit on the balloon. It's very funny.
Maybe they're going in shifts. Maybe Max is going, then Hank gets sloppy seconds.
I could see Hank just being like, I'm your boss.
Pass it around.
Here, you take the balloon. Okay, next up, Bucks at Falcons. This could decide the NFC South.
I think it probably will.
If the Falcons win,
It's over.
It would be hard for them not to win the NFC South.
The Falcons aren't dead if they lose. By no means.
No, because
I
they already
think
beat the Bucks.
It's a tie. But, yeah, if the Falcons win this game, I will anoint them NFC South champions.
And I feel like the Bucks defense is getting by a little bit on reputation these days, and they have a ton of injuries.
Still got Kalijah Cansey.
They do.
So many TFLs.
Which I meant to talk to you about. Should we maybe put a little on Will Anderson?
Let me see.
Because Will Anderson,
what are
I
odds
think,
here?
like
I actually have a nerd nugget on him later on.
Jalen Carter, I think, is the favorite, and Devin Witherspoon. But if the Texans go to the playoffs, I think Will Anderson, like he had 2 sacks last week. He might be the guy right now.
I'm trying to find the futures.
I think he's plus 350. I think it might be a Will Anderson bet time.
Let's see. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I think.
Where are we at?
I think we need to go.
Jalen
Will.
Carter's minus 200.
Yeah.
Will Anderson's plus 350. Brian Branch plus 4,000. I'll sprinkle on Will.
I think Will might win it.
I'm also going to sprinkle on Brian.
If the Texans get to the playoffs, I think that they'll clean up on some of these awards.
Well, they're going to get CJ for sure.
Right.
He's like locked in right now.
Although Puka,
Not
Puka,
bad. Comeback player of the year, maybe Mechie. Mechie's going to be stepping up.
Yeah.
Tank
Yeah.
Dell out.
I like the Falcons in this game. And I'm just going back to what no one in the NFC South excites me, but if I had to pick, it would be the Falcons.
The Falcons, they can be fun.
Yeah, no, and I wish Taylor Heineke was playing, but in terms of being in the playoffs, I don't want to watch the Bucs in the playoffs. I don't want to watch the Saints in the playoffs. I could talk myself into watching the Falcons in the playoffs.
I think the Falcons might be a team you don't want to play in the playoffs.
I don't think that's true.
Because they can muck it up.
I think whoever it will most likely be the Cowboys. I think they'll be fine playing the Falcons in the playoffs.
They'll
be more than happy to go play the Falcons in the playoffs.
They're going to be the most disrespected team in the playoffs,
and rightfully so.
Everyone's going to be like,
and rightfully so.
Why are the Falcons hosting a playoff game?
Yeah, and rightfully so.
But still,
I might unload on the Cowboys now that we're saying it. Okay, Nerd Nugget.
Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans, as we mentioned the other day, now has 1,000 receiving yards. It's his 5th career season with that, having 1,000 receiving yards and 10 or more receiving touchdowns. That ties him for the 5th most in NFL history. Every player with at least 5 seasons of 10 touchdowns and 1,000 yards, all in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep.
He's been incredible.
what do you think about Baker? So if the Bucs end their season, let's just say they're 8-9 at the end of the year, probably realistic, right? Maybe 7-10.
Yeah.
But if they're 8-9, what are the chances Baker comes back to the Bucs next year?
I think he comes back. I think they'll probably draft someone.
Yeah, but I think they're done with Trask.
Yeah.
I think if Trask hasn't taken over the job by now,
He would have done it.
there's
Yeah,
probably a reason for that.
he would have done it. Okay, next up, Panthers at Saints.
Gross.
The only thing I had on this game is I oftentimes struggle with a narrative and when the narrative actually dies. Example, like Oregon when they switched from Chip Kelly, when they had a couple string of bad coaches, and I was like, but it's Oregon. They're going to be good offensively. Like they're going to score 70 points. I can't get it out of my head if I know a team is one way and then all this evidence shows me something else. I'm like, no, but it's so hard. This is exactly what it is. My point is, the Dome is not. It's not a home field advantage right now. So the Saints are 0-5 against the spread this year at home. They're 0-7 in their last 7 against the spread at home. They're 5-15 against the spread at home since 2021. The Dome is not the Dome.
Yeah, the Dome has been aging along with a lot of their roster.
Right. So it's like, but in your head, you always say when there's a game in New Orleans, you're like, tough place to play.
I think the Dome has the Dome picks and chooses its moments. So like a big third down, the Dome can still bring it for like one play.
But it can't sustain
it doesn't sustain it. No,
Right.
it's like an aging veteran that you put in to rush the passer on third and longs, and that's their specialty. That's kind of what the Dome's at right now.
The Dome needs to get its cardio up.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the Dome can get its cardio to the point that it once was.
Yeah.
They
need good players. That's probably what would get the Dome back.
Yeah, they need the second that they don't start anybody on offense that was also around during the Drew Brees era, at that point, then I think the Dome could get its mojo back.
Because the easier way to say it is it has nothing to do with the Dome, and it's the fact the Saints just stink.
But yeah, the Dome, don't discount the Dome.
I'm not discounting the Dome. I'm just saying you could alternately say, well, yeah, because they're not good.
The Dome it's had an off couple of years.
It is the first time I think they have this 0-5 against the spread since like 1980.
It's also cool that they just get to call their dome the Dome.
The Dome.
It's the Dome.
It is the
It's
Dome.
not the Superdome. Like other domes, they exist. There are other stadiums that have domes. But if you were to say like Atlanta,
No.
and you don't call that the Dome.
No, that's Mercedes-Benz.
That's the butthole.
Yeah.
This is the Dome.
It's where they don't serve Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
Yep.
Dome is just a great name.
Yeah. I love Dome.
I do too.
I love
Big
everything.
fan of Dome.
Huge fan.
Jake, you love Dome?
Can't say I hate it.
Mr.
Okay.
Positions.
All right. Okay, so I kind of want to take the Panthers in this game.
Yeah, I still don't know what to make about Tabor, the interim coach. There was a report that came out this week that it was like the Hunger Games inside the facility where other coaches were like texting with Pepper behind Frank Reich's back. Is that really behind the head coach's back? Is it on an NFL team? Is it normal for only the head coach to have a relationship with the owner?
I don't know.
Because I feel like a functional work environment, it's like everybody should be in contact with everybody that wants to talk to them.
No, I would say that, like, the special teams coach probably doesn't talk to the owner very often.
It depends, I guess, on what's being said.
Yeah.
Like if Tepper's reaching out to the special teams guy and he's like, hey, Chris, what do you think about Frank's play call last week when it was fourth down and he went for it? And then if you're doing that kind of back and forth, then yeah, that's Hunger Games shit.
Yeah. The Panthers, I'll say this, J.C. Horn is back. He played last week in limited amounts, but he's going to be ramped up this week. He does change their defense.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to take the Panthers. Again, if you're a Saints fan, and I had a lot of Saints fans reach out to me, and they agreed, like, they should not be winning games now. Getting into the playoffs this year for the Saints is bad for the future of the franchise. They need the full reset.
Give me a full Taysom game. Give me Taysom all day.
We might get Jameis.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
Derek Carr just doesn't want to sit.
I made the switch last week where I thought to myself, like, Taysom as a starting quarterback, I think he gives you the best chance to win right now if you have him.
Yeah,
because he's so hard to plan for.
But Derek Carr, like, this guy won't just sit down for a game. Let me see. What is he? Yeah, he's limited in practice.
He's tough.
Just let Jameis play.
It also just occurred to me that there's a chance that David Tepper himself was the source of the Hunger Games quote.
Yeah.
Because in his mind, he's like, I run such like a tight ship around here, and everybody fears me that they think it's the Hunger Games, and he thinks that's cool.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that that's what happened.
Yeah, he definitely.
It wasn't like somebody complaining about being pitted against their coworker.
Yeah.
Tepper wants people to know that's how I run.
Welcome to the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
David Tepper joint. Okay, Nerd Nugget.
Last week, Saints running back Alvin Kamara surpassed Marcus Colston to become the franchise's total yards from scrimmage leader at 9,809. So he's 191 away from 10,000 yards.
Okay.
As a Saint.
Last early game, Texans and Jets. Memes, I got bad news for you. I think I'm going to take the Jets. I think Zach Wilson is the spark. I do. I think he's the spark.
You're not trolling?
No, I keep thinking about it more and more, and it's like it's maybe less Zach Wilson and more just looking at the board and being like, everyone's going to say Texans -3.5 is the easiest bet.
They pay those guys on the Jets to play football too.
And Zach Wilson might be a spark.
So it's the saddest spark ever.
No,
I would say
no.
I think it is. I think it is.
No, we said it. Tim Boyle to
Tim Boyle.
No, Trevor Siemian to Tim
Trevor
Boyle was
Siemian
the saddest
filling
spark.
in. That's a sad spark. Going back to Zach Wilson, that's sadder, but for much, much different reasons.
Yeah, but I still think the benching Trevor Siemian for Tim Boyle is the saddest spark you can ever do.
At that point, it was about more like just not having Tim Boyle on the field, like
Yeah.
anybody but Tim Boyle. With Zach Wilson, it's like maybe he's learned how to play quarterback in the last week.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's fresh legs.
Maybe these last 3 years we can just kind of put those out the window. Maybe now is the time. Something clicked.
Yeah.
Did something click for Zach Wilson during this last week? Was getting benched in that fashion a wake-up call for young Zach?
It's a good question.
It could be.
Memes?
I think he's the only like semi-mobile quarterback left in the room. Like Trevor Siemian took 3 steps, immediately got hit.
Maybe that's why they're putting him back in, because Saleh hates him and wants him to get hurt.
There was that report
Really?
from Joe Beningo, the WFAN radio host. He had a text message with Robert Saleh, and he leaked it on air and made it sound like Robert Saleh hated Zach Wilson.
Yeah, this could be coach being like, I'm so mad at you for you. I had to start you so many times this season when I didn't want to. Now I'm going to start you, and hopefully you're going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
This could be a vengeance start from Saleh.
It's very possible, and I think the defense might even be like a week or two away from just completely quitting.
I think, yeah. I think they're a game-to-game quit watch. Like we saw the Dolphins game as the halftime.
Yeah, last week they were still flying around.
Yeah, they almost there was a chance for a second there. There's like, hey, maybe they're going to win this game 2-0.
I love it when defenses fly around out there. That's my favorite.
And then you also have the rookie quarterback. C.J. Stroud is due for a rookie quarterback game.
No Tank Dell.
No Tank Dell. It's an elite defense.
Robert Saleh knows D'Amico Ryans very well. Kind of a master and student in the pupil. Is that no?
Yes,
no.
Teacher-student.
Teacher-student. No.
Teacher and pupil.
Teacher and pupil. I said student and pupil.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm trying to talk myself into this.
Well, I'll give you.
Because I started this snowball.
There's a certain young man that's coming back this weekend, expected to make a big difference on the Jets offense.
Oh, we're talking Spark?
Big spark for the Jets. People have been talking about this guy for the last couple of weeks. Like, when's he going to get out there on the field? There have been videos of him warming up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
When is this guy going to play? Izzy
season.
It's officially Izzy season.
It's
officially
It's
Izzy
Izzy.
season?
It might be officially Izzy season.
Oh, my God. I'm going to have to bet this fucking guy who's never even going to get in the game.
No, he's going to get in this week, right?
There's no chance. He never gets in.
It's not confirmed, but Breece Hall was.
Breece Hall said he was going to play.
But will he be 100%?
Will he be 100%?
Would you rather have 60% Breece Hall or 110% Izzy?
60% Breece Hall.
110% Izzy.
60% Breece Hall.
110% Izzy. Give me
Take a 10% Breece Hall. I take Breece Hall. He doesn't have legs.
Feed me Izzy.
All right, let's just do Breece Hall and Izzy.
No, the
Dalvin Cook.
Jets are going to score 2 touchdowns? What are you talking about?
Without Dalvin Cook?
You can't. Betting the Jets to score 2 touchdowns would be the craziest bet ever. But now maybe they will.
Yeah, I objected last week when they said they lost a 1-score game. With the Jets, that's not a 1-score game.
Also,
It's not. That's like a 4-safety game.
here's something for you, memes. The last 8 Texans games. Lost by 2, won by 7, won by 2, won by 2, won by 3, won by 5, lost by 3, won by 5. My point, these games are always tight. They could be better than a team, and it will come down to the last possession. I think we're going to take the Jets, memes.
Texans playing fun games.
We're going to take the Jets, memes. Okay, Nerd Nugget.
So I confused Will Anderson and Derek Stingley. This is about Derek Stingley.
That's a huge mistake.
Yeah, Texans cornerback Derek Stingley is the first player in franchise history to tally 4 interceptions in a 3-game span. As the only player in the league to accomplish that feat this season, he joins Darius Williams and Matt Milano as the only players to record an interception in 3 consecutive games this year.
So wait, you gave us a preview of the Nerd Nugget, and it wasn't even the right guy?
Well, Will Anderson got brought up a few games ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have something on him, but it was the wrong
Different
Texans
guy.
defender.
Different Texan.
Yeah,
Different
so that's
guy.
on me.
Yeah, your Texans confused. Okay, before we get to the crown jewels and the late slate, Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. Go to Game Time right now. You can browse it. They have comedy. They have concerts. They have playoff games. They have NBA bowl games. Everything at Game Time. I've used it many, many times for everything under the sun. Bought last-minute tickets to a football game. Was easy as could be because they have last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals. Easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. All-in prices show your total up front so you know you're getting a great deal without hidden fees. Buy tickets in 2 seconds with 2 taps. So Game Time is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. We love Game Time. We use Game Time all the time. Game Time, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets at lowest price, guaranteed. Okay. Late slate. Vikings at Raiders. Justin Jefferson back.
Jefferson back, which is good because this is another receiver that Josh Dobbs does not have a connection with yet, meaning he will play really well with Justin Jefferson.
Yes.
That's what he does. It's we looked it up. I think it's the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
Where you start out and you're really good, then the more you know, you get worse.
Yes.
And then at the end, when you're an expert, then you're really good again.
Justin Jefferson also, Nate Tice, who does a great job, wrote an article about Justin Jefferson in the run game. Like, the Vikings' run game is way more efficient when he's on the field, not even because of him as a blocker, but just because of what defenses have to prepare for with Justin Jefferson. This game, though, any result wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't think that the Vikings are good enough to be expected to win this game. And
they're favorites on the road.
And they're favorites on the road. And the Raiders are not bad.
No.
They've been okay. They've been decent since making the coaching change. Like Josh McDaniels is probably what lies do you think Josh McDaniels is telling himself to explain how they got so much better? Because he's not admitting like
schedule. He's probably doing a big schedule thing.
Yeah,
look how soft it was. I would have won all these games anyway.
I didn't get the right opportunity.
Yeah, stole this from me.
That's probably what he's saying. But they're a much better team without him, obviously. And I think these are just two. This is the mid-off of the week.
Yeah.
Vikings, Raiders, mid-off of the week.
And whoever wins can tell themselves maybe playoffs, even though I think the Vikings might. There was that nice run, but the fact that the Rams and the Packers have looked ascendant makes me like. Don't the Vikings have to play? The Vikings play the Packers. Oh, no, they play the Packers one more time.
They play the Lions twice.
They play the Lions twice. So, yeah, maybe they could still make the playoffs.
They could. Oh, yeah, if they beat the Lions twice, they definitely
They have to win this game. They have to win this game.
They got to win this one. And, if you're a Vikings fan, you got a team that fights. You guys have been fighting your dick off.
Yeah,
you got a defensive coordinator that at the start of the year looked like somehow this defense might be worse than the defense was last year. But things have gotten into shape over there. There was an article that came out about him, about how he invented a new kind of defense this year. Like a new way to look at the zone blitz that's never been done in the history of the NFL. So if you're a Vikings fan, you've got that. Your defense is better, and you've been fighting in every game. So I guess you're happy. It's like you could say that if Kirk Cousins was still our quarterback, we'd be right in the thick of it.
Yeah, and now that I'm looking at it, like they do have everything in front of them. They play the Lions, Packers, and Lions to finish the season.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but they got to win this.
Fighting. They have to win this one. This is a must-win. Okay. Nerd nugget for this game.
Vikings fans are familiar with Raiders receiver Devontae Adams. No player has caught more touchdowns against Minnesota than Adams, who recorded 13 while with the Packers.
Okay. All right, next game, Broncos at Chargers. I like the Broncos in this game, and I'll state my case. I was looking at it, PFT. The Chargers offense stinks now. It's back to the dome discussion about, perception. You're like, oh, Justin Herbert, they got all these weapons. Austin Eckler looks old. They can't run the ball. Joshua Palmer's been out, so they only have Keenan Allen. PFT, Keenan Allen has the most receptions on the Chargers team. How many more receptions does he have than the second most?
I'm going to say he has 800 more receptions.
He has 71 more receptions.
Okay.
The second most receptions on the team.
Oh, you're talking about this year?
This year.
Okay.
This year. 71.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And
Keenan Allen needs to be respected more.
He does. And so I went and looked at it since Joshua Palmer has been out, because he was a good receiver. He was a good complementary piece to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen has accounted for 46% of all Chargers passing yards.
Yeah.
It's literally just throw. I think Brandon Staley even said it. It's like, if I could throw it to him like 80 times, I would.
There was one game they threw it to him probably like 25, 26 times.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's the most crisp route runner in the NFL.
So I say all that.
That's probably not true, but he's very good.
I say all that because the Broncos, if they want to do this, who knows if they will, but they could just put Patrick Surtain on them.
Mm-hmm.
And
then they have nothing.
And they have literally nothing. Like, this is a team that is getting by on – I don't even know if they're getting by on reputation anymore because everyone thinks they stink. But you do think Chargers, you think offense, like they have so many guys. They don't got anyone.
It's also a sad state of affairs if you're the Chargers and you're like, people are only talking about us because of our reputation as the Chargers.
Right.
Like that,
which isn't
that would
that
be a good
Yeah,
reputation.
right.
Although the one thing that's holding him up, I think Khalil Mack is leading the NFL in sacks.
He is.
So he's having a great season individually.
He also, I think, has had I think he's like 4 games in a row, multiple sacks. Like, he's been a beast.
Yeah, he's still very, very good. This spread, Chargers -3. I'm going to tip my hat to Vegas. I think Vegas nailed the spread.
Yeah.
Because somebody's winning this game by 3
You
points.
can do the old Mincy.
Yeah,
They got it right.
They got this one right.
They got this one right.
So this is a stay
Don't
away.
need to give a pick. They got it right.
It's a stay away from me.
I kind of like the Broncos.
I think they got it right.
They got it right. Okay, Nerd Nugget in this game.
Broncos wide receiver Cortland Sutton needs 1 touchdown to become the first Bronco since wide receiver Demaryius Thomas and tight end Julius Thomas in 2014 to record double-digit receiving touchdowns in a single season.
He's good. He's good.
He's good.
He's
Yep.
been very good.
Those teams were amazing too.
Yes.
Peyton's guys.
Yes. Okay. Bills and Chiefs. PFT, I'm going to talk crazy for a second. Permission to talk crazy.
Go off.
If you think the Bills are going to win this game,
I do.
I do too. If you think the Bills are going to win this game, why not bet them to win the Super Bowl?
I guess that's fair.
They're 35-1 right now.
It's fair. I think
They have to get, like, the Bills to me right now, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's probably a toss-up at this point because they do have a tough schedule. And if they don't make the playoffs, it's only themselves to blame because they lost games in the beginning of the season to teams that they should have beaten easily, and we know how that went. But if they do make the playoffs, and considering all the injuries and weird shit that's happened on all the teams ahead of them, why would the Bills not be just as capable as all these other teams who, in their current form, maybe outside of the Ravens, you can say there's a hole there?
Yeah, so I understand your logic. Their schedule is not super easy.
No, it's hard.
So there is a way that they could win this game and then very easily not make the playoffs.
But
at all.
my point is, if
They're good enough.
if
It
they
means-
win this game, the price will go from like 35-1 to 20-1.
Yeah, now would be the time to do it, then maybe cash out. This is, by the way, we should do an alert because people have been accusing us of glazing the Bills recently. Oh, yeah, I'm glazing the Bills. Big time. I'm Jay Glazer over here.
I mean, the Bills,
They're getting glazed.
I still think they're a very good team. They just have the Bills have only themselves to blame for what has happened this season. They have lost games that they should never have lost, and they lost games to teams that they should have killed. They lost to the Patriots,
Yep.
didn't they? Yeah.
They lost to the Jets.
They lost to the Jets. They lost to the Broncos when the Broncos were still like bad and hadn't put it back together. They've lost games. They are the only themselves to blame. But I'm just saying, in terms of a value proposition, if you told me the Bills were in the playoffs, like, what would be the argument that they don't have just as much of a chance as every other team, given what's happened in the AFC? It's not like the Bills are so much better than everyone else. I think everyone else has come down a little bit.
I think the value proposition against that would be they're still coached by Sean McDermott.
Yeah, and it's been tough.
There was a very interesting article that came out today. I don't know if this came across your desk, Big Cat. Came across mine. Tyler Dunn wrote this regarding Sean McDermott.
Okay.
And some of the ways that maybe inside the building he's lost some of the team. There was an anecdote from 2021 when he was addressing the entire team. This was at St. John Fisher College in Pittsburgh, New York. McDermott's morning address began innocently enough. He told the entire team they needed to come together, but then sources on hand say he used a strange model. The terrorists on September 11th, 2001.
Oh.
He cited the hijackers
Wait,
as...
this is an Athletic Plus?
This is not the Athletic Premium Plus. This was...
Okay.
I don't think... when I saw this, I was like...
Did I write this?
I thought to myself, did I tweet this screenshot out? And so I had to look it up. So
Okay, continue. Sorry.
He cited the hijackers as a group of people who were still able to get on the same page to orchestrate attacks to perfection. One by one, McDermott started asking specific players in the room questions. What tactics do you think they used to come together?
Oh, man.
A young player tried to methodically answer, what do you think their biggest obstacle was? A veteran answered, TSA, which mercifully lightened the mood. Fact check, TSA did not exist until after 9/11 for a related reason. But yeah, if you've reached the point in your motivational speeches where you're asking the guys to emulate the hijackers on September 11th, 2001, on your football team, I think it's time to start asking some questions about how can we get this guy like just a word of the day calendar that we can all study and rally around.
Yeah.
Like let's get back to watching. Hell, bring in Sean Payton and have the wildlife channel of like gazelles getting hunted down by lions and
Two
having
truths
their
and a
guts.
lie.
True truths and lies. Trust falls.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Maybe let's do another rookie skit.
Icebreakers.
The rookie skit.
Fun facts.
Goes out there like George W. Bush.
Yeah. All right. So I just searched Sean McDermott's name on X, formerly Twitter. He spoke to the media today. So this is breaking news of the last like 10 minutes. He said that his intent with the team meeting in 2019, in which he referenced 9/11, was to emphasize the importance of communication. He said that he regretted it and apologized to the team soon after for not better communicating his point. That's ironic.
Yeah.
He was doing a lesson on communication, and he didn't communicate that you shouldn't use the terrorists on 9/11 as the point to prove about communication.
He should have had someone come in and speak to him before he talked to the team and use the 9/11 hijackers as an example of how he should be communicating with his team. Then he would not have used the example of the 9/11 hijackers when he communicated with his team.
Okay, you know what? Everything I said about the Bills winning the Super Bowl, I'm throwing out. Does not count.
Disavow?
Listen, I didn't expect it to go this way, but I think they're going to win this game. But the fact that their head coach has to do a press conference today talking about the time that he said that the 9/11 hijackers were really communicated well and they're admirable to look at in a team building standpoint.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming. I'm going to say you can't win a Super Bowl if that happened.
I'm going to agree with that. You know
So
what?
everything we said, we're no
Part of
more
my
glazing. We have not glazed anymore.
Part of my take, we're removing the glaze.
Yes.
We are
glaze has been removed.
On this podcast, if we stand for nothing else, we're anti-Nazi and we are anti-9/11 hijackers.
That legitimately changed.
Disavow.
I was going to bet the Bills, and I will not. I can't. Like, what are we talking about?
It's the old drill tweet, like, under no circumstances do you have to hand it to the 9/11 hijackers.
Yeah. All right, Chiefs.
All right, Chiefs. Chiefs it is.
I think I got to fix my advisors pick. Like,
People are going to say you're pro 9/11 now.
Yeah, when they see advisors and they're like, "Oh, you picked the Bills." Material change that was taped on Wednesday.
Can we go back to our interview with Sean McDermott? Just add to the lower third. Part of my take does not endorse the 9/11 hijackers. To just run during that interview.
I wish we had known this. This would have been a good clip for us to bring up.
It would have, yeah. I'm actually shocked that none of this came out before now.
Yeah.
You know, they say like
it actually is a sign that he is in trouble because someone's been holding that.
Yes.
They're like, I know that I can just say this to a reporter at some point.
Yeah, because when you're winning football games, nobody cares what motivational tactics you're using. But the second things go south, all of a sudden that 9/11 speech that you gave gets brought up.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, shocking. Shocking, even as far as NFL head coach motivational tactics go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to change my pick to the Chiefs everywhere. Okay. Nerd Nugget.
The offenses led by Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes may end up stealing the show here, but both the Bills and Chiefs have 3 players each with at least 6 sacks this season, tied for the second most in the NFL. The Dolphins lead the league with 4 players who have at least 6 sacks.
The Chiefs defense I'm a little worried about because I think maybe Nick Bolton is coming back, but they had Nick Bolton go down, I think, in the Chargers game. Then Drew Tranquil went down last week in the Green Bay game with a concussion. Both, like, those are the guys, green dot guys who are communicating the entire defense, and you could tell in the Packers game like it was a drop-off.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Nick Bolton is going to play. I don't know what Drew Tranquil, if you can get out of concussion protocol that quick, but that is something to watch because that is part of, like, Steve Spagnuolo wants to do some funky-ass shit.
You probably can't it's very rare that a player now comes out of concussion protocol within the week.
Brock Purdy did.
Brock Purdy
He's
did.
elite.
He's built different.
He's
though.
elite.
As far as the 9/11 thing goes, again, like, if you're going to motivate your players, it actually makes sense that the Bills' seasons have been the way that they were because they didn't study how to take off or land.
Yeah.
And they're always bad at the start of the season, bad at the end of the season.
Yeah. Man.
They're good on cruise control.
That's shocking.
It is shocking, isn't it?
Yeah. By the way, we just got a text message, I think from me, or no, maybe from Shane, saying Jerry just asked if he should go in and leaf blow the balloon. Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
We won't count it against them, but I would like to see them react like that. If you're watching on the YouTube right now, you're going to get a treat because Jerry's going to leaf blow the balloon and see how they react. This would be great. Okay. Seahawks 49ers is the last afternoon game.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
Oh!
Bird
Nugget of the week.
nugget of the week.
Oh, I like it.
For the Seahawks.
That's a good tune. Where'd you get it?
Chirp, 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 chirp.
That's good. I like that.
I like it too. Bird nugget of the week. Did you know that a Seahawk is not an actual bird?
Oh.
It's not a bird. The Seahawks have a mascot and a logo that does not exist as an actual animal in real life. Now, some
Just
people...
a seagull on steroids?
We got a bunch of osprey heads out there being like, yo, PFT, it's an osprey. Some people call an osprey a Seahawk. In the first place, that's two words, sea and hawk. In the second place, there's other birds that are also called Seahawks. So it can be a skua or an osprey. There's no such thing as a Seahawk. Now, other fun fact about the Seahawks mascot.
Wait, are we on live? Did Shane put us live on the stream? Don't put us on the stream because we don't. I mean, we're doing Bird Nuggets of the week. We can't have the people. You got to tune in to Pardon My Take for that stuff.
Yeah, so this is very important because you might say to yourself, hey, PFT, they actually have a live mascot. That's a hawk. And you're right. They very much do, in fact, have a live mascot.
It's not a Seahawk.
The live mascot that they use is a captive-bred 10-year-old auger hawk named Taima.
Does he live by the sea?
No, auger hawks live in the fucking mountains of Africa.
Oh.
And it's not even a Seahawk, so there's no such thing as a Seahawk. Bird nugget of the week. Chirp.
That was
chirp.
a great Bird Nugget of the week.
Yeah.
Good song.
Niners are going to win this game.
I have talked myself into the Seahawks being frisky.
Okay. Can I help you?
They were
talk you out
frisky
of it?
last week.
Yeah, they were frisky last week. It felt like it was throw everything at the kitchen, the kitchen sink game where it's like we got to win this game. The Niners officially are the best team in the NFL. You could just point to their 3 losses, Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams being out, and how good they've looked every single game that they have not been out.
Yep.
I also think the Seahawks struggle defending the middle of the field, struggle in tackling. Christian McCaffrey's pretty good at avoiding tackles and running routes in the middle of the field. Same with Kittle, same with Deebo.
You know who's
same
good
with
in the middle of the
Brady.
field? Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner's maybe lost a step.
Well, he's definitely lost a step from his prime, but he's still not bad. I like the Seahawks to cover in this game. 10.5.
I think they're trapping you.
That's a lot of points. I think
trapping
I
you.
think you're getting trapped by the
No.
Niners. Yeah, they're coming off a mini bye from last Thursday.
No, the Seahawks are.
Seahawks, sorry. Yeah, the Seahawks are coming off a mini bye from last
Oh,
Thursday.
here comes the leaf blower. They're struggling. They're getting up. They're getting up. This is great. This is oh no. This is some great action right now. Hank's trying to block the leaf blower. Oh.
All right, they survived.
Jerry still got him. This is really the dumbest thing ever, but it's so funny.
Hank's trying to block the
Hank
leaf
and
blower
Max are blocking
with his
the leaf
body.
blower. They're doing a good job.
Yeah, this is good. This is good teamwork. You know what? Like Hank and Max, they seem like they've learned a lot from the 9/11 hijackers.
Yes,
and how to
I'd
communicate
say
as a
so.
team.
I'd say so. All right, they're fighting back. Yep.
Yeah,
there he
there we
goes.
go.
That's Mark Wahlberg right there.
Does he have a box cutter? No. Good.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's a Seahawks trap.
I don't think I'm getting trapped. I think the 49ers are obviously the best team in the NFC. And when they've got their
NFL.
guys back, they're the best team in the NFL. I just think that 10.5 points is a lot of points.
Okay.
I don't think that the Seahawks are going
That's
to win
where the
this
trap
game.
is.
They're not going to
Made
win
it
this
10
game.
and a half.
But they look frisky enough on the road in Dallas on Thursday night that I'm like, they should not be 10.5 point underdogs.
Exactly. Trap.
They shouldn't be.
Trap.
I think you're getting trapped.
No, you everything you explained is the trap.
I saw them on national television playing well.
Yeah, exactly.
The most recent game
And
that I
10
saw
and
in
a
the
half is
Seahawks.
the perfect amount where you're like, they don't have to even be close.
Yeah. Backdoor me on 10.
Yeah, no, you could. Yeah, that is open. All right, Nerd Nugget.
Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf needs 1 reception and 88 yards to become the 3rd player in NFL history to reach 50 catches, 900 yards, and 5 touchdowns in each of his first 5 seasons.
He was
Randy
awesome.
Moss, AJ Green.
He was awesome on Thursday night.
I'm faster than him.
It was great to see that. You are. Facts. All right, last game, crown jewel, Eagles at Cowboys. Eagles have been outgained by 100 yards in the last five games, 5 straight games.
Yeah, they've been winning some close ones.
Yeah. I think this is the battle of fraud defenses.
Okay.
So the Eagles, that's the stat with the Eagles. They've been outgained 100 yards in the last 5 games. The Cowboys defense, I was looking it up. I was getting into the weeds. So they've given up 220 points. In 5 of those games, they gave up 40 total points. Those 5 games were against the Patriots, the Panthers, the Giants twice, and the Jets. Those 4 teams are the 4 last teams in offense in the NFL. So in 5 games this year against those teams, they've given up 8 points per game. In the other 7 games, they're giving up 27 points.
Yeah, they beat up on bad teams.
Right. And so it's like,
crush bad teams.
I love this over. I really don't know. This is kind of maybe we'll go back to the Mincy, like perfect spread. Because I kind of wanted the Cowboys, but now it's 3.5.
Good job, Vegas.
Good job. Like 3.5 makes you scared. You look at 3 and you're like, ooh, that's yummy. And then 3.5, you're like, oh, I don't want that.
The
I'm
hook
full.
dangling out there, because then you know for certain you're going to lose because of that half
Yes.
point. We should talk about Mike McCarthy and his health adventure he's been through this week. He had appendicitis. He had a swollen appendix. They removed it. He said he's going to coach.
Free diet.
Free diet, yeah.
Because he just lost his appendix. He
maybe
probably lost 2 pounds.
Mike McCarthy might not have been fat.
Yeah.
Maybe his appendix had just been gradually bursting and growing for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And they're going to take it out and he's going to be hot.
He was like Violet Bogard.
He's going to have a 6-pack.
Yeah.
So McCarthy, I could see him also using the appendix as a motivational tool. Like have it in a jar.
Smash it.
Smash his appendix. Get his guts. I'm spilling my guts for you guys.
Yep.
I'm getting my guts on all these players.
So I was wondering how this would play into it, and I asked our good friend Will Compton and Kyle Long, who were here today, and they said that it's this late in the season, it actually would maybe be good because it's like a substitute teacher energy, where it's like the defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator are now running the practices. It kind of makes it loose, like, oh, you think you're going to be the head coach? Oh, you're not the head coach. So kind of like a fun vibe that they can get out of this.
I would also like it if Mike McCarthy coached this game from a hospital bed.
It would be great.
Like Hugh Freeze. That'd be awesome.
Hugh Freeze
wouldn't
it.
Like up in the suite next to Jerry. Maybe
Yeah.
Jerry's there, like manning his IV, telling him what plays to call.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
You also, it might be a good thing if Mike McCarthy doesn't coach.
If you have Dan Quinn step in.
Situationally, like, I mean, that throw that they made on 3rd down on Thursday night to stop the clock, like Mike McCarthy still does some really stupid shit.
That's what I was saying at the start of the show on Friday was no one's going to talk about that because they ended up winning the game. But that very easily could have cost them the game.
Yeah.
That was how many he gave him, like 40 seconds.
It's crazy.
Here's 40 seconds for free.
Mike McCarthy also, I saw someone pose this, but he is in the running for like one of the best regular season coaches of all time. I want to see what his record is. I'm looking it up right now, scrolling. Head coaching record. Here it is. Oh, no, 164 and 100. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's not best of all time. Regular season. Okay, Nerd Nugget.
Philadelphia is 3-0 on Sunday Night Football under Nick Sirianni, which is the longest active streak of SNF wins in the NFL. The Eagles have won each of their last 2 games versus Dallas on SNF.
Okay.
So 3 games in a row.
Although the Cowboys, Dak has actually beaten the Eagles more. Like he has a better record against the Eagles than you would imagine.
I actually thought the way that they lost to the Eagles earlier this year was it was perfect because the Cowboys played good enough to beat the Eagles in that game. Dak played awesome, had a great game, and then just stepped out of bounds barely, just by a little bit, 2 yards shy, where it will just drive you insane, and people will be like, see, Dak sucks, he stepped out of bounds, when in reality he played an awesome game, and they'll all forget about that and be like, oh, well, he cost us at the last minute. That's the perfect way, in my opinion, for any Dallas Cowboys loss to occur.
Remember that game, too, when we were watching it, the Cowboys were just able to get yards a lot easier than it felt like the Eagles were.
Just
like,
go to CD.
They were just kind of ripping them up in the middle. Jake Ferguson has also been like very, very good and has kind of changed their offense a little bit. I'm going to look it up real quick. The Cowboys-Eagles game from earlier this year. Wow, they played a lot longer ago than I realized.
What was it, like 4 weeks ago? 3 weeks?
Yeah, it was week 9.
Season
November
8.
5th.
Flies by.
That's a long time ago. The Cowboys had 406 yards to the Eagles 292.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, did you do the Nerd Nugget? Yeah, you did. Okay, that was a great preview, boys. Didn't think we were going to get into 9/11.
Yeah.
McDermott just got us.
Schefter just tweeted the article too, so it's official.
Yeah, it's
Oh, well, I mean, he did a press conference
Yeah.
talking about it, so he clearly he knew. That must have sucked for Sean McDermott to be like, any day they could say the 9/11 story.
Yeah, I got a notification. McDermott addresses 9/11 comments. Bills coach said he regretted comments that he made during a team meeting. This does feel like a fake article. The entire thing feels fake, but it's real, which is crazy.
Yeah, that really is insane. Okay.
What do you think Aaron Rodgers would say about that? Actually,
He'd be like, good point.
Actually, they didn't work that hard together because it was the CIA.
Yeah. This is wild. Okay. Picks. Let's do it.
5 weeks to go, 10 picks remaining. For the opening act, Jake, 16.5. Memes, 15. Max, 14.
Close.
So, yes, very close. For the main event, Big Cat, 17.5. PFT, 16. Hank, 11.5.
Okay.
So Hank is
not even close.
4.5 points out with 10 to play.
I mean, anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
I'm not
but that's
safe.
what we're looking at.
Big Cat, you're not safe.
No, you can't expect to be safe.
But Hank, he went 0-2 last week, and Big Cat went 2-0.
He should be miserable doing
the opening
that.
act is wide open. Any of us, it could happen too. And then pancakes. Big Cat, would you like to report your change? Big Cat, a transactional change.
So McGlinchey got hurt.
Caleb
McGarry.
McGarry.
McGarry got hurt, so I've picked up Morgan Moses. I'm really on top of this.
Former football team.
So here's the standings with 5 weeks to go. Hank continues to dominate with 44 pancakes.
Good for him. He needs a win.
Max, 34. PFT and I tied with 31. Big Cat, 25. Memes, 24.
All right.
I think that's going to be a fun video, too, because we're all going to be participating.
Yeah, I want.
Yeah, except for the person who sees 24 pancakes.
I want to.
I don't know if you can.
18 is really tough, too.
Third place is premium.
Yeah.
What's third place?
24 is going to take
It's
a
0,
long ass
3,
time.
6, 12, 18, 24.
I want to get 12. 12 pancakes would be the best.
Right now, PFT, me and you are tied for third and fourth. We'd probably just split it and do 9 each, right?
Sounds good.
So that'll be another stream that we'll get for
Yeah.
everyone. I was thinking about it. Like, we can just have Chef Donnie make us pancakes.
Yeah.
That way we can do it here.
Oh, yeah.
Get a couple tall stacks.
Yeah.
Dermot will show me how to attack
Chef
them.
Donnie made French toast for the guys for the stream today. It smelled so good.
Yeah. I can't remember. Is it just 24 pancakes straight, or is it the deal like
I think we're doing the hours.
Yeah,
thing.
the hours thing.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So that's not. Yeah, you could eat 12 pancakes in 12 hours. That still would suck.
It just depends on the size.
And then the people
fluffiness.
who have to do 6 and what is it? 6, 12.
0, 3, 6, 12, 18, 24.
So the people who can do the other, as soon as they finish their pancakes, they can leave.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
In Hank's case, most likely 0.
Yeah, so he can hang out and just make fun of us.
Yeah.
He needs that. He needs a win like that. Okay, Memes, will you be ready to eat pancakes if we have to do it?
Oh, yeah. This punishment rules.
I don't think it does. I think you're very wrong. I have eaten – I once tried to eat 10 pancakes just on a bet, and it was hard.
Yeah, 10 pancakes is a lot. I think 12, though, you get to have 2 meals. You split it up into 6 and 6, and you just hang out with the boys, eat pancakes. I like that idea.
It's technically kind of another 24-hour stream.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah, I
if
mean-
you don't eat any pancakes, you have to sit in that room for 24
Right.
hours.
It would be kind of funny to eat just one pancake.
Yeah, just be like,
hang
I'd
out.
rather – I'm on a diet. I'd rather just hang out.
Interact with the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, they submitted their pick since they're not on the show right now.
They also only gave one pick each. So
should we give them
this is just their
picks?
Oh, so they're just doing like
Yeah.
is this a silent protest?
Well, we can talk to them, right? Get their
Yeah.
picks right now.
All right, so let's do they both get a pick, and then we'll do all of our picks, and then they can just pick something random.
Okay, so Hank has the Chiefs minus 1.5 against the Bills.
He probably knew about the 9/11 thing.
He did.
And then Max has his Eagles plus 3.5 against the Cowboys.
Okay, so who's up first?
I believe PFT.
I'm going to take the Browns minus 3 at home.
Like it.
Against the Jags?
Yep.
Like it. Okay.
I'm going to take the Niners minus 10.5 against the Seahawks. I think they really separate themselves from the rest
You're
of the
getting trapped,
league.
Jake.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay. Memes?
I think Max would be up here. So.
No, well, we're just going to go to them at the end for their 2 picks.
Okay.
Because they were asked to give 2 picks. They just didn't.
They also didn't have their phones.
All right, well, we'll let them just pick random.
Eagles, Cowboys over 51.5.
I wanted that bad. All right, so I got 2. I'll do Bears plus 3.5, and I'll do Bucks Falcons over 40.5. That was a game. Remember, it was like 1917, but there was 7 turnovers in the red zone the first time. I think they had like 700 yards of offense or something crazy like that. Okay, Memes, going back around to you.
Colts plus 1.
Okay.
I see 1.5.
Ooh.
I see 1. And I'll take 1.5. I'll take 1.5.
Give me 1.5.
I'll take 1.5.
Memes has stayed up. He deserves that half a point. I'm going to take Texans Jets under 33.5.
Okay, you didn't have to say it like that. Really hit the under hard.
Yeah.
PFT?
Zach Wilson.
I'm going to take. It's down between 2 for me right now. I'm going to take the over in the Rams-Ravens, 39.5.
I like it. Okay, you can wire us in, Shane. We'll ask them for their last 2 picks.
Are all their picks there?
Yeah, no one took any of their picks.
Yeah. Yeah, they have their first 2.
Yeah, so I'll just say them.
Yeah.
Max took Indianapolis, Cincinnati over 43.5, and Hank has.
They did do picks. They did
Yeah,
do
yeah,
2
yeah.
picks.
Yeah, but like if you wanted something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
they didn't send
misunderstood.
backups.
Shane, don't put us in. We don't need to talk to
They
them.
didn't send it backup.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got
But
it.
none of us took
It
them.
was just
Got
like
it.
they sent 1 pick. So if you had it before
You got
them-
it. Got it.
Yeah, so Max took Colts Bengals over 43.5, and Hank has Broncos Chargers under 40.
Okay, so that worked out perfect.
Yeah, no
Okay.
overlaps.
I was confused. All right, we got 2 interviews. We're not doing Fantasy Fuckboys this week because we don't have Hank. We'll be back next week. We have 2 great interviews. We're going to start with Gronk, our good friend Gronk, and then Bart Scott, who I like Bart Scott. He gets fired up.
I want to see him and Shady McCoy do a show.
He
Just
gets
takes.
He gets fired up. We got him a little fired up.
He doesn't
about
understand the
some
butt
stuff.
fumble though.
Yeah, the butt fumble. He still doesn't got it. We couldn't have explained it better.
Yeah.
He still doesn't got it. Okay, so these interviews are brought to you by our friends at Body Armor. PMT is always brought to you by Body Armor. Real hydration, real ingredients, packed with electrolytes, vitamins, and nothing artificial. Body Armor has great tasting flavors like strawberry banana and blue raspberry. Not only do we hydrate with Body Armor, but some of the best athletes in the world do as well, like Christian McCaffrey, Joe Burrow, Ronald Acuna, CeeDee Lamb, and Bryce Young. My favorite is strawberry banana. I love it so much. I'm drinking Body Armor all day, every day. It is all over the office. They're so delicious. PFT's got the orange mango right there. Such great flavors. And the regular bottles, the water bottles, perfect amount. And they got the wide mouth, which is my favorite as well. So Body Armor is the best in hydration, available in stores nationwide, but you can head on over now to the Body Armor store on Amazon and get yours today. Become a Body Armor athlete like us. Body Armor. Thank you to Body Armor. We love Body Armor. So go right now to the Body Armor store or Amazon and get yours today. Okay, here he is, Rob Gronkowski. Okay, we now welcome on one of our good friends, multiple-time recurring guest. It is future Hall of Famer Rob Gronkowski, and he's with us because he's hosting a bowl game, the LA Bowl, December 16th, Boise State, UCLA. Gronk, great to see you. First question, what the hell does it mean to host a bowl game? What does this entail?
Yes, what's up, guys? Great to be back on the show. I love you guys, love your show. And on top of that, man, it's a special moment for me. When I got the LA Bowl brought to me, the interest of me hosting it, it definitely triggered something, because my last game at the University of Arizona that I played in, it was actually in this bowl game when it was in Las Vegas. It was a conference matchup, the same conference matchup in Las Vegas. It was the first bowl game the University of Arizona went to in 10 years, and we beat BYU, who was ranked number 17th in the country at the time. And Willie Tuitama, our quarterback, who's going to be at the bowl game, actually, the LA Bowl. He lives in San Diego now, so he's driving up. He threw for over 300 yards. My brother, Chris, who was a fullback, had a touchdown up the middle. I didn't have a touchdown, which was rare for me in college, but that's all right because we beat BYU. And now it's a full circle moment because this game is now in LA. It's the last game I played in at the University of Arizona. Now I'll be hosting the bowl game that I last played in. So that's pretty special, man. It's a special moment. And that's what really got me to host this bowl game for sure.
I love it.
That is very cool. I can only imagine, like, you thinking back to all the touchdowns you did score, those teammates you had. Now you're hosting the event. As far as hosting the event goes, though, what does that entail? What does hosting a bowl game mean? Are you just getting the party started?
Yes, that's exactly what it means. I'm going to get the party started. Also, you got to go on a little promotion tour. So I'm here doing the little promotion tour, going on a couple shows, promoting the bowl game to get people there. We got Boise State versus UCLA, which is going to be a great game. But then on top of it, when it really matters is, bringing the attitude to the game, bringing the atmosphere of energetic, type of atmosphere to the game as well. And obviously I got to perform. I can't just host a game and show up and wave, kiss babies. I got to perform. And this is where I got to talk to you, Big Cat, because I know that you've done some special things. I will be singing the national anthem at this bowl game as well. And I have watched you about 4 or 5 times in my life sing the national anthem at the rowdy fights that you guys host, also other couple events. So can you please give me a tip, Big Cat, on what I need to know when I freaking sing this national anthem and light up the whole arena?
Okay, so can you sing?
No, I cannot sing.
Okay.
I was on The Masked Singer, and I beat Lil Wayne in the first round and Shaka Khan in the second round. And I think it was because of my dance moves. But then after that, I was voted off. But they're also helping me out because I did sing for them. I did sing for the committee. Julian Edelman was there and told me he needs 10 more shots for me to continue singing because it was so bad. But they got the New Directions Veterans Choir to sing with me. So it's kind of like they're helping me out. They don't want me to fail.
Yeah.
So I got a good base around me.
Okay, so I guess my only tip would be you got to have someone hold up the words just in case you freeze up, because I've screwed up the words before, and that's the worst feeling in the world. That people take the national anthem very seriously. So maybe someone just, maybe have Gordy just standing behind the camera with a big cue card, ready to go,
That is a good point. I was already thinking about that, and sometimes they put the national anthem, like in the NFL games, I saw it. They put it up on the Jumbotron just so everyone can sing along. But really, it's for the person that's singing the national anthem. So I'm going to have them do that. Thank you.
It's like everyone knows the national anthem, but it's like little stuff like bombs bursting in air, not through air, and like that stuff. Like I had the first one I ever did was the Windy City Thunderbolts when Dave and I went out and tried out for the team. And I think I said through air instead of in air, and I had like a World War II Navy vet come up to me after. He's like, you messed up the anthem. And I was like, oh, fuck. Never again. Never again will I mess up one word.
You're never going to get USAA if you screw that up.
Yeah. And you're a vet.
I got to get USAA, and that's very true. I 100%. I've been trying to I even jumped out of the plane at the Air Force Base on Fox freaking 3 weeks ago. And then one of the cadets was there. He's like, you deserve USAA. I was like, I know I do. And then he's like, but you haven't served yet. He goes, how about you marry my sister? You'll get USAA that. And I was like, oh man, hey, whatever it takes. I need to get it. But maybe singing the national anthem will get me there.
That might do it. Or you could just like go overseas and just fight in a war on your own. Just be like, hey, Gronk's here. I'm just trying to get that good insurance.
What if I did serve for our country and I went over, I was in Afghanistan, I was freaking in the army tank shooting freaking rockets out of it, all that good stuff. That would be pretty badass.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
You might be too tall for a tank, though.
Yeah, it's close quarters in there. Yeah. Julian Edelman would fit perfectly in it.
Yeah, little tiny guy. Yeah.
They would specialize. They would get in the factory right now and do a specialized tank for myself.
The Gronk tank.
Gronk tank would rock.
that would be sick. So we're not going to ask you if you're retired because I know that you are retired. But I will ask you another football-related question about your time in the league, specifically spending so much time around Bill Belichick. There's been a lot of smoke out there about Belichick maybe taking a different coaching job next year. A lot of people are having the conversation about the Washington Commanders for Bill Belichick. Would you be surprised to see him go to a different team?
I would be surprised for him to go to a different team. I mean, it would just be really weird, first off. It would just be weird just seeing him on another team. I mean, he's been with New England for so long. I kind of feel like, this season's really rough, but he is still one of the greatest coaches of all time. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I played for him. I learned from him. He helped develop me to be the player that I was. There's no doubt about that. And if he's not one of the greatest coaches of all time, he is the greatest coach of all time. He knows his football inside and out. I saw it firsthand every single day. There's no doubt about that. But just to see him on another team would be really weird. I believe he's really grandfather claused in with the New England Patriots. I mean, he would have to have like another year, like this year, next year, for them to finally be like, all right, it's time, let's move on. But I truly believe that he will be here next year. But if he does go to another team like the Washington Commanders, I mean, it doesn't really, rival with the New England Patriots. Kind of like when we went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's not like we went to the Miami Dolphins or the Buffalo Bills. So it would have to be a team like that where it doesn't have any beef with the Patriots. So the Commanders, I would say, would be a team he would go to, but I just don't see that happening after this year. I think he'll definitely have another year to redeem himself.
Yeah. So you are retired, but when was the last time you got a phone call? And it could be from Tom Brady. I would assume when Tom Brady thinks like people maybe kick the tires on him, he's like, well, I got to make sure that Gronk's also coming too.
Yes. Well, no, I haven't got a call from Tom. The last time I talked to him, though, was actually yesterday. He sent me a clip of our playoff touchdowns, and he wrote to me, bro, no one done it like us. And I was like, bro, those are some badass clips. It actually got me picked up. And I haven't really realized, like, we were freaking badass. We were, if not the best duo to do it in the game, my man. I mean, watching the highlights now, ain't no one doing like what we did back in the day. There's no doubt about it. We played physical football. We played smart football like no one else does. We grinded our way out of situations whenever we needed to. But on top of that, I got a call from like 2 teams this year in the offseason. But, I just wasn't interested. I mean, they were great teams. It would have been a great situation, but I just wasn't ready to go.
So the Bills and who else?
No, it wasn't the Bills.
What?
No. Well, first off, I mean, it's kind of out there. It was the Giants because of Brian Dable. He was my position coach for 3 years here, and I loved having him as my position coach, man. He was just a great guy, great attitude, brought the juice to the table every single time. But, I mean, he knew it was kind of like a home run. We talk every once in a while, and he's like, yo, come on, come out, come with us. You and Darren Waller, you guys would be a great duo. And I was like, I know we would be, but bro, I'm good. I'm all done. I got 11 years in the league, freaking 4 Super Bowls, 6 times went to the Super Bowl. A lot of crazy action off the field as well up in the New England area. So did it all, man. Very satisfied with my career.
And then what was the other team?
Oh, the other team. Oh man, I don't even want to say it.
No, you gotta say it. Come on. We can guess. NFC or AFC? NFC or AFC?
If you hit it, what's that?
NFC or AFC?
AFC.
All right, we get 3 guesses.
I got one. The Raiders.
All right, you hit it right on the
spot. That wasn't too hard.
Yeah, that's actually really easy.
Josh,
that's an easy one. You got McDaniels over there when he was there. Stuff. I know the offense, so I mean that was an easy guess, my man. You got it right on.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have been able to play in Las Vegas?
Ooh.
Yeah, I would have been able to play. I mean, not at the beginning of my career, but I would have been able to play in Las Vegas now. I can block that, all that mayhem stuff out now.
So you are retired. Have you had the moment yet? Because it's like, there's not many guys that retire and it's just a guarantee first ballot Hall of Famer. Have you had that thought like, hey, 3 years from now or whatever it might be, 3-4 years, I can't remember what the exact date is. Like you're going to get the knock on the door. It's going to be a pretty fucking crazy moment.
It's going to be a really crazy moment, man. It still really hasn't hit me. And I think it's still really weird to me because I'm so young. And if I never came back out of retirement and went to the Bucks and I just stayed retired, it would actually be this year that if I went first ballot, I would actually be going into the Hall of Fame right now. And I'm just 34 years old. And that would have been like super, super weird. So like, I think like, because that's like a moment that you want to cherish when you're older. So like, it still really hasn't hit me because I'm like just 34. There's guys still playing in the league that are my age right now currently as well. So maybe it'll hit me in like a year or 2. I mean, I just went into the Hall of Fame at the University of Arizona. They just put me in the Sports Hall of Fame there a couple months ago, last month actually. So that was a good start, man. That was a little, kick to, get that feeling of what it's like.
Sounds like you have to have a kid. You got to have a kid before you go in the Hall of Fame. Then you can hold your baby.
It does sound like that, man. First off, I got my dog who's just chilling right next to me. He's kind of like my first kid. He's getting me ready for a real kid. But, man, I would love to have a little Gronk running around just going crazy. My brother's – I am actually an uncle and what is it? Uncle and Let's see, one where you have a nephew. I'm an uncle.
You're an aunt?
I'm an uncle to
Oh.
9. So no, I'm not an aunt. I was thinking I was an aunt, but I'm not an aunt.
Wait, you have
I'm an uncle to
9 nephews. 9 nephews.
Yeah. 7 nephews, 2 nieces, or
Whoa.
3 nieces.
There's gonna be so many Gronks in the world. Oh my God, that's a scary thing.
Bro, let me tell you, they're legends. They're athletic. They're going to be the next generation of Gronk athletes as well. I'm super excited to see them. It gets me juiced every time I watch them. And one day I won't be having a little Gronk running around.
You're gonna have baby Gronk running around.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What are your
Risen up,
thoughts?
Livy Dunn. What? Yeah. What went through your head when baby Gronk was all over the news for like that week? You remember that week?
Yeah.
And that was just crazy, man. And I actually followed baby Gronk when I was doing a little autograph signing. The autograph guy was like, yo, you see this baby Gronk guy? And I'm like, no, I haven't. He's like, you should follow him. It's kind of funny. And this was like way before he blew up. And it was like kind of funny stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But then he just took it to a whole freaking another level, bro. Like whatever, a couple months ago. And it kind of blew my mind. I was like, I mean, I'm not kind of here to support that. I think it's just too young of an age to just see what they're doing. I mean, some of the material was freaking pretty funny. Like, did you see when they posted his mom, if that was really his mom? Like, it was the most outrageous picture. I lost my mind. Like, the cleavage was just sticking out. Like, it was just so out of control. And I wasn't even sure if it was his mom or not, but I would say just maybe they took it to a little bit too far of a level. And it's kind of like setting your kid up for failure, I would say, a little bit, because like, you don't know, they're so young. He's like 10 or 12 years old. So
let kids be kids.
The dad like feeding him all the lines and stuff. That was a little uncomfortable.
It was a little uncomfortable.
We're Baby Diggs guys anyway. I don't know if you've seen Baby Diggs.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah, Baby Diggs is a man.
Baby Diggs rocks.
Yeah.
Sorry. So Gronk, you're crushing it in media now. You're everywhere. We all kind of figured you would be because of your personality. How's it been though? Like transitioning to media, you have to watch games like we watch games. Not so easy, right? Like we've always said that watching all the games might be harder than playing in the game.
100% agree with that. Watching all the games is harder than playing in the game because you got to know about every player. You got to know about every team. And that's why I'll never be a commentator as well. You got to be way too into it. I'm way too busy, man. And I love the game of football, but I don't see myself, commentating on games. That's why I like the job that I have, being an analyst. And I'm also part-time. I just signed a new deal with Fox where I just do about 10 to 12 of them a year. So I don't have to fly out to LA every single time. And I got all the playoff games as well. But it is a job, man. I'm actually impressed with what you guys do, how you guys always tweet out info, knowing what's going on, knowing the players, knowing the stats. It's impressive, man. You got to be fully into it to actually understand what's going on truly. And it is work, man. And that's why I'm just an analyst, because you can pick it up. You can kind of watch the game and then, throw your thoughts out there as well. But I feel like it's the perfect job for me that I have right now that I'll stick to.
Yeah, one underrated part about what we do and how hard our job is not only do we have to watch every game of football, we also have to watch every pregame show.
Yeah.
And every halftime show and every postgame show. And we have to take what you guys say, then we have to analyze that too. So it's like 2 jobs. We're working like more than full time doing a podcast. It's hard.
Yeah. And then on top of it, you have to be funny as well.
Yeah, we try that
ideally,
part. Yeah,
ideally.
Yeah, that part's hit or miss.
Or you can be so bad sometimes that you become good.
Yeah.
That's the other thing about being an analyst is if you're like the loudest, wrongest person, then you're actually good again because people will just argue with you all the time.
I would say that's where I started when I first started with the Fox team. I was so bad. I was talking about Julian scoring touchdowns and getting that nut in the end zone because he's a squirrel. And like that hit off. It was so bad, but it was so good, man.
Yeah. Did anyone speak to you after that? Were they like, hey, Rob, we like what you're doing. You're pushing the edge a little bit, but maybe if you could not talk about a player coming on the air, that would be great.
No, they loved it, my man. No one talked to me about it. And I feel like they want more of that type of stuff. I mean, it was clean.
Yeah.
It was clean, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you brought up Jules. We haven't seen him in a while. He's been ducking us. Hopefully, we're going to see him soon. Is he getting a little chubby? Is he getting a little fat?
Jules? Oh, my gosh. I would love to see Jules chubby. I would just rip on him every single day. Like, man, what happened to you? Because every day in the locker room, he used to walk by with his shirt off. I'd be like, bro, you boxer ripped because Julian is ripped. He got the lungs coming out, the bicep showing. He like boxer ripped where everything's just popping. So if he gets a little chubby, I'd be like, bro, you're not boxer rip no more. You sumo wrestler rip
Yes,
now, bud.
yes, dude. No, but I haven't seen him with his shirt off in a while. He used to just post all shirtless pictures on Instagram. We gave him a lot of shit. His the famous Father's Day post where it was just like him with his shirt off catching footballs and his dad like kind of like putting his hand in front of him, and that was the Father's Day post. It was literally like, look at how ripped I am. I haven't seen him with his shirt off in a while.
I actually did see him with his shirt off the other week. Well, because he's actually with Fox as well. He does the pregame show before ours, and sometimes comes on ours. I sometimes come on his, and I saw him change again. And he actually is still really ripped, man. But he goes, I don't really haven't worked out in a while. And I was like, bro, well, you super ripped for working out for a while. So he said he's gonna get back into it. But I'm actually for him to get chunky. That'd be pretty funny.
It'd be very awesome. He would look so fat with the beard too.
Oh.
It would just go outside. He'd look like Jersey Jerry if he was fat. It'd be awesome.
Great. It'd be great.
Gronk, so I'm curious to know, you've been out of the league for a little bit. You were a guy that loved physical contact. You liked running over people, throwing people out of the club. Do you miss that aspect of it? Like, do you have an outlet for you to like physically dominate another person in your daily life?
Yeah, I love doing activities, my man. I love competing still, obviously, like cornhole. I mean, I get intense in cornhole, play some pickleball. I shoot the basketball around, 3-point games and all that. But I would say that aggression came from when I was a kid, man. I had 3 older brothers, 1 younger. We had about 20 other kids on our street. They were all older than myself, and I was always competing with them, playing tackle football at 7 years old versus 10-year-olds, taking them out still. Got tons of beatings when I was a kid, Charlie horses every single day. So I was kind of a guy that just fiend for the pain, fiend for the hitting, and I feel like I was numb to the pain as well because of my childhood. That's why I just loved the aggression of the game, and that's why I could just hit someone and it was like nothing. I could just keep on going, my man.
Yeah, but you don't have any of that right now. Like, you don't do mixed martial arts, you don't wrestle.
No, nothing really like that, man. I mean, I think it's finally out of me. It took about 30 plus years to get out of me, but I still grind, still get that lift in, still run a little bit, but that like true aggression of trying to hit someone, I'm just saving it if someone tries to cheap shot me, so I'm ready just to knock them right out.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's pent up. We got to get you to our new office in Chicago because it's a Gronk Toyland for you. We got a basketball court.
Are you guys still in New York?
Yeah, we still have an office in New York, but we have one in Chicago too. We have like a full basketball court, like tons of games and shit. Y'all, you would love it. We just get you wrestling.
There we go. I'd come there. I'd play some basketball, shoot 3-pointers, and throw down some serious dunks.
Oh, you can dunk?
Oh, I can dunk like a madman right now, bro.
Oh, I like that. Hey, when you close your eyes, you think about like one touchdown or one game. What game is that?
The game I would say is the first Super Bowl that we won, and because it put me in the Super Bowl club, of winning a Super Bowl. Also, the game was legendary versus Seattle, obviously with the Malcolm Butler interception, and just overall the game was just crazy, the up and downs. And then the catch I would say would be the one-handed catch, 2 of them versus the Broncos. When I just put my hand up, Tom threw it behind me, I brought it down to 2, and then also the one-hander versus Buffalo Bills. My hometown team went, so it was just special to do it against them. And it was at Gillette Stadium. I just put my hand out like that on the one. Tom threw it back there. I just brought it right in for a touchdown. So the one-handers always stick out.
It's a nice one.
Would you say, I'm going to look up the stats right now because I can't think about it offhand, but I feel like just like remembering games, I feel like your best game was in a loss. That AFC Championship game against the Broncos was like the best game you ever played because you were just everything.
Yeah, I would definitely say it was one of my best games. What was crazy is I think I got food poisoning from the night before. I showed up to the game, and I was feeling like complete poo, man. I wanted to throw up everywhere, but I just got my wheels turning, my engine going when we started. And I remember it was 4th and 10 in the huddle. I'm pretty sure Tom got a screen pass called in, and it was 4th and 10 on our own 30-yard line, and it was 45 seconds left in the game. And I was feeling the game though by then. I've already had a good game. And Tom looks at me and I'm like, bro, what's a screen pass? Like, throw it, let's call something where I can make a play. And he calls us all goes. And I run right by double coverage. And one of the guys was Chris Harris, all-pro DB. So these guys are running like 4.3s. I turned up the notch a little bit at 260 pounds and ran right by the little guy. He threw a bomb about 40 yards in the air. I brought it down on 4th and 10 to save the season for the Patriots at that moment. So whenever it came to clutch plays, man, that's what I live for, man. I live for clutch moments. Like that. And then down there too, 4th and goal on the goal line, Tom threw it in double coverage again. jumped over the guy for the touchdown. And unfortunately, I was open on the 2-point conversion to tie the game, but we won't talk about that, man.
Yeah, that was 8. I just looked it up, 8 for 144 and a touchdown. That was the game that Dave didn't account for the air. That was his big excuse after. He's like, I didn't account for the air because he booked Airbnb in San Francisco for the entire week before you guys even got to the AFC Championship game, and then he was like, "Fuck, I have to pay for this whole Super Bowl house," and I didn't account for the air.
So is that why we lost?
It might have. He didn't account for the air.
Well, on that note, how much credit do you give Dave Portnoy for the Patriots' success throughout the years? I think he would probably give him. He puts himself up there. Well, I guess Robert Kraft
Hank too
said, yeah, Hank. So it was like Belichick, Brady, Portnoy. That's what Kraft said. So between Portnoy and Hank, how much credit do you think they deserve for the Patriots dynasty?
I would say Dave deserves a lot of credit, no doubt about it. I mean, the guy kind of put the Patriots on the map in some great ways. I mean, he grew up, like I always said, Portnoy started like at the same time as I. We were kind of like rookies together, and we both grew with the Barstool brand and my brand at the same time. We were both blossoming. I was a big fan of Barstool. Barstool was a big fan of me. You guys were writing the craziest articles about me throughout the beginning of my career, and we were loving every moment. We would read them in the locker room and stuff, and we'd be laughing our ass off doing it as well. So Portnoy, definitely a huge Patriots fan. Definitely helped put the Patriots just on the map even more than the Patriots were on the map. So I got to give some serious credit to him, man. I would say, Mr. Kraft is right. He's number 3 in line. How can you argue with that?
Well, with Hank, you remember Hank got arrested for Tom Brady going through Deflategate. Hank locked himself in the lobby of the NFL league office. What was your reaction when you saw the Barstool guys like chaining themselves in an act of civil disobedience, going to jail for your quarterback?
That's why I loved you guys even more at that moment. When I saw Hank do that, I knew he was all in as a Patriot fan, and that's a true Patriot fan, that he's willing to go to jail to represent the Patriots and to represent Tom Brady. So I love you guys. I love you, Hank, for doing that, and also gave us entertainment as well, because it's a grind, man. It's a grind with the media as well. Sometimes always, on top of us, and then to see something like that in the media with you guys, to see Hank doing that, it's kind of a relief. And it was funny, man. We love Hank for it.
I don't know if the story ever got told. I think it probably did in one of the documentaries, but Gronk was, there's people out there who went to, when we did the blackout parties, you don't realize it, but Gronk was there with the mascot hat on, dancing on the stage. So you saw Gronk.
I was at a couple blackout parties, about 2 of them. All my friends always went to them before as well. I went to one in Tampa. I put the mask on and I'd be dancing on the stage like a maniac. I remember we have a bottle of like vodka too on the side that we'd be pounding underneath the mask as well. So we were feeling definitely good under that mask and just going absolutely ham. Those parties definitely fit me when I was 23 years old on the Patriots. Those were the best times for sure, man. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was going to say, looking around the league right now, who's the actual baby Gronk in the league? We like to always anoint the next big tight end, like, oh, this guy's the next Rob Gronkowski. But like, from your opinion, who's the guy that plays the game most similarly to you? Because there can't be another Gronk. But if there's a guy that's next in line in that vein, who would it be?
I'm going to go with the guy from Detroit right now. He's a rookie, Sam Laporta. He brings it to the table. He's having a great rookie year. To have a rookie year like that in the tight end position, a lot of tight ends don't have good rookie years because it's a tough position to play and to understand. He's got to block and catch as well. But Sam Laporta is bringing it to the table. He's fast. He's got great hands on the run. He breaks tackles as well. He can line up out wide, do the slants, all that good stuff. And he's willing to block as well. I won't say he brings it to the table like I do in the block game, but I would say he brings he's the most similar guy that's up and coming that kind of represents my game as well.
That is something like you were such a tremendous blocker, and I think that, there's a lot of tight ends now that are more pass catchers, but like a Kittle is like, he blocks his ass off. Like watching Greg, I just called him Greg Kittle because we make a joke about that. But like those guys who could do everything, it really is like they're the best athletes on the field.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I took pride in my blocking, that's for sure. I always was focusing on the blocking every single practice, especially my second year in the league. That's when I really, really learned how to block. And also actually my first year as a rookie, because that's what got me on the field. Because I was so in the pass game at the moment, I actually couldn't remember the plays in the pass game. So that's why I really didn't have that much, targets my rookie year until halfway through the year. It finally all clicked. but they love my blocking and willing to block. And also I knew it would garner much respect from all the other players willing to, sacrifice and get dirty in the trenches. And that's what I did, man. I loved it. And I go back now and I watch some of these highlights. So like when Stephen Ridley ran against Kevin Hart and when Kevin Hart tore his oblique or whatever in his stomach. So then the NFL posted that on their Instagram, and then they posted some highlights of Stephen Ridley running the ball. And then I saw some of my blocks just from Stephen Ridley running the ball, some random plays. And like there was 3 plays in a row that they showed. And each time I took my DN and I just tossed them back like 5 yards and right to the ground. And I was like, holy shit, baby. Like, no way. That's how I was blocking. I mean, I was a fucking dog, bro. And I loved it. And I'm sure that's why a lot of my teammates respected me, because I love grinding like that. I love having the big hits. It was just as good as scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I also love the fact that Tom Brady texts you with a highlight reel and just like, hey, remember how awesome we were?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That rules.
Because like that's what
man.
fans do that to each other. Like I could see a Patriots fan just like texting Hank on a random day, like, remember how awesome Brady and Gronk were? But you're actually looking at that and you're like, yeah, we were pretty good.
I was like, bro, we were legit. And then I was like, we were the best to do it. No doubt about it. The best duel to do it. There's no doubt. I was like, I'm watching football now. No one did it like we did, baby.
What do you think is your funniest play that you've ever had? Because there are 2 that come to mind. There's one where you just laughed in the guy's face and did the Gronk spike, where you did the big ha 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 spike. And then there was one against Ryan Kerrigan where he tried to tackle you, and he probably weighs like 285 pounds, and he just grabbed the back of your shirt and kind of tried to sit down, and you just ran him into the end zone like he was a sled behind you. But you've got a lot of very funny plays. So in your opinion, what's the funniest?
All right, bro. Those are 2 good ones right there. And then I got 2 for you. One of them was versus Steelers. I caught a first down pass up the seam. I was laying on the ground, and I just decided to put my hand back as a first down marker laying on the ground. Like, it made me laugh when I saw it in the film room. And then another play was versus the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs. I caught another seam pass, and the safety came and grabbed me. And the way he grabbed me, it pulled down my pants, and my ass cheeks were hanging out, and his face was like right against my ass cheeks. My actual ass was showing in the game. And there's a picture of it on the internet. If you just type it into Google, like Gronk, Baltimore Ravens ass guy or whatever it is, his face is right against it, man. And it's great.
Oh my God. It's so funny. That's
How's my
so
ass
good. He literally is right in your ass. That's so funny.
He definitely
got to
get
get that
too.
framed. Yeah, you got to get that framed in your office.
I do. I got to get that framed. No doubt about that.
All right, well, Gronk, this has been awesome. I got one last question for you. It's a Roback question, rhoback.com. Use promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts with Roback.com. Most comfortable clothes in the world. We wear the joggers all the time. The sweatshirts are great. Roback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off. All right, so LA Bowl, December 16th, Boise State, UCLA. Are you going to I kind of want to see you do the Gatorade bath on the winning coach. Can you do that for us?
I didn't even know that was a possibility. So I'm down to do that. I mean, if the team is willing to let me do that, if the players are willing to let me do that, then I'm down to get in on that action. No doubt about it.
All right, maybe get Chip Kelly wet.
That's a good plan, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you friends with Chip?
I never really met Chip before, man. I faced offers him a couple times, but he said some great comments about me because I faced him when he was at the University of Oregon. He was the offensive coordinator there, and I went off that game when we played on my sophomore year for like 150 yards, touchdown, and like 14 catches or so. So he remembers it to this day. He's had nothing but great things to say about myself, and I have nothing but great things to say about him. He's had such a great, successful year as well, but it'll be my first time meeting him.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Also, our booker, who is big part of our team, Kelly, she's actually on this Zoom right now. She just texted us and said, ask him when he's going to propose. I would never ask you that, but she wanted me to ask you that.
All right. I like the way you did it, Big Cat.
Yeah, she's literally on the Zoom. It wasn't my question.
Yes, Camille's lovely. I love Camille, and it's definitely got to be a possibility very soon.
I love it. Yeah, because you got to get the kid before the Hall of Fame.
Yes, I got to get that kid too.
I can't wait till you're going to be the best dad ever. Oh my God.
I'm gonna love it, man. I am gonna be the best dad ever. I love that.
That's a fact.
Have you decided who you want to induct you into the Hall of Fame? Who gives the speech?
Dante the Don.
Dante the Don. He can DJ, but he's not going to induct me with the speech. I'm not sure yet. I haven't thought about that yet, man. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great moment. Well, Gronk, we're always a fan. Have fun with the LA Bowl. I can't wait to watch you sing the national anthem. You're the best, and we got to get you here to Chicago and get you running around and dunking on us.
All right. Next time I'm there, I'm going to come stop in, man.
All right, love it. Thanks so much, Gronk.
All right, man. Take care, guys.
Gronk was brought to you by Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut may not have invented pizza, but they made it famous because nobody loves it like they do. From the legendary thick and comforting original pan pizza to the original stuffed crust that taught you how to eat pizza the wrong way, Pizza Hut has been cooking up delicious pizzas and iconic recipes under the hut and delivered to your door for more than 60 years. It's too good not to share. Whether it's a team celebration or just a casual get-together with friends, Pizza Hut's large pizza offers a convenient and enjoyable dining experience for everyone involved. Did you guys have this when you were a kid?
Yes.
Was there a Pizza Hut, but there was a reading challenge that we'd have in like elementary school where if you read 3 books, they give you stickers. You go get personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut, and it was the best tasting pizza of my life.
That rocks.
Because you had to earn it. You had to read to earn it, so it tastes really good. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Order now at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut. And this interview with Bart Scott is brought to you by The Farmer's Dog. The results of switching your dog's food from kibble to fresh can seem like magic. When you have a senior dog that starts acting like a puppy again and the pickiest of eaters that can't wait for dinner time, you might think some spells were cast, but The Farmer's Dog doesn't use any sorcery or secret ingredients to make their fresh food. They just use science. Farmer's Dog is awesome. Blake is obsessed with it. He loves it. He goes downstairs every morning. This morning, went downstairs. He ran right over to his food dish, sat down, started drooling because he couldn't wait to eat breakfast. He loves the Farmer's Dog. And I've had a bunch of people that hit me up and they said, hey, I've done the water in the bag soup trick. You give your dog some extra Farmer's Dog broth afterwards. They drink more water, stay hydrated, and they love it. It's like a second meal for them. Soup. Dogs love it too. The Farmer's Dog makes and delivers fresh, healthy dog food. It's developed by vets, nutritionally balanced, and made from real healthy ingredients to human food safety standards. It's the best option for dogs at all life stages because it's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's just real healthy food. Traditional dry and wet dog food options are highly processed. They can use much lower quality ingredients than they claim to, and they're extremely difficult to portion accurately. But the Farmer's Dog isn't just fresh, higher quality food. They also send the food pre-portioned specifically for your dog based on their unique nutritional needs. A fresh diet has been found to have all sorts of benefits. You get healthier coat and skin, better breath, even easier digestion, and smaller, better poops. A healthy diet isn't just important for humans. Like I said, Blake loves this stuff, can't get enough of it. Stella's been eating the Farmer's Dog for years. It's great dog food. Your best friend will love the Farmer's Dog. They'll love mealtime. If they're a picky eater, your problems are solved. It doesn't matter if your dog's young or old. It's always the right time to begin investing in their health. Get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/PMT. Plus, you get free shipping. It's a great deal. It gets delivered right to your door. Go to thefarmersdog.com/PMT to get 50% off. That's thefarmersdog.com/PMT.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest, 11-year pro in the NFL. You can also hear him on ESPN Radio and Get Up every single day. He's all over the place. It is Bart Scott. Bart, first of all, thank you for joining us. We're fans of you. You have some takes that we love to listen to. So let's start there with just the NFL right now. It's week 13. Do you have a take you've been sitting on that we can talk about a team that you think stinks or a player that you think is having a bad year? Let's get the people going.
I don't know if particularly I have a hot take. It's like day by day, right? Just the NFL is what it is. I think that we thought that the AFC was going to be the powerhouse, but it looks like the NFC is going to be the one that has the most compelling, competition. You look at, the Philadelphia Eagles and their lack of being able to stop the run, being dominated by the 49ers. Surprising that Shaq Leonard decided to go over to their side instead of picking Dallas after watching both teams play. I'll be interested to see, what happens as far as what the contract details are, to see if, Philadelphia gave them an extra year that maybe another team didn't give them. I thought that was interesting. I thought it was a battle where both teams are auditioning for him. And I thought if you look at the audition objectively, I think you would think that Dallas, performed, more admirably more dominant than the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that Philly may be a team that hasn't played well all year. And, this is the kind of the last swan song for them, as Dallas is a team that's trending. You look at Philadelphia as a team that's trying to win, in this last window before they have to reboot and find a different window.
Yeah.
If you consider the fact that, Kelsey's, thinking about retirement, you think about Graham, and we know that this is Cox's last year as well. So it's kind of like the last dance where you're trying to see if they can pull one out after playing bad and finding ways to win, but they ran into a juggernaut, and we all know that, when healthy, San Francisco is probably one of the most complete teams in all the NFL.
So a question about the run defense, because you did play in the NFL for a very long time, and defensive mentality. Is it, when it comes to stopping the run, Philadelphia has dudes. Is it a mentality thing? Like, is it at this point in the season where you say, hey, guys, we got to figure out a way, like, to kind of nut up here and stop the run? Or is it, hey, we don't have maybe the linebackers that we need. We don't have the guys behind the front line to schematically be able to stop the run?
I mean, to me, it is the communicators on the second level, right? You talk about, in the world of RPO game, it's about the linebackers being able to understand. That's why Shaq may not be what he once was, but, he's a guy that has played at a high level. He's seen a lot of football, understands, formations, tendencies, down the distances, tips from linemen, pulling guards sitting off the line of scrimmage, sitting heavy on their fingers. He can help them with that pre-snap recognition. The D-line can only do, their part, but at some point they can scheme getting linebackers up to the second level, and you saw them bludgeoned by San Francisco, and that's something that they're going to have to address, because if you can't stop the run in the playoffs, where possessions are shorter, where teams find ways to move the sticks, they scheme up. You don't have familiarity with a lot of these teams when you play them, because it may be the first time or the second time that you play them, but you don't know them because they're not in your division. And, they have, you don't have that intel that you need. So you need a guy like Shaq Griffin that can kind of man the second level, especially when you talk about an era where you have formations and you have schemes where teams don't go with regular personnel, 2 tight ends. It's 3 wide. So you're stopping the run out of a light box. To do that, you need everybody to be a man and a half, not just a man for man, because if you do that, you cancel out and you get to the second level. So you need war daddies that's going to sit on the train tracks when the train is coming through. So, Kelsey, guys like that, uncovered guys pulling into the second level. You have to understand how to, stop scoop blocks, how to read the shoulders of the running backs. And it's a bit of a lost art. You have some good linebackers, but you can always tell the teams that don't really have high play at that position, they get taken advantage of.
I love that phrase, man and a half.
And war daddy.
I'm gonna start calling I'm a man and a half, Bart. Who are your top?
With that shirt, you have to be a man and a half.
I'm almost a man and 3/4 right now. Who are your
Unless
top?
that's standard uniform or something. I don't know if that's a uniform.
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah. This is basically my day to day. Who are your top 3 man and a halves in the NFL?
Ooh.
Well, when you talk about guys that, I always love Dalvin Tomlinson out there in Cleveland, right? He's a throwback to the Casey Hampton type of fat boys. Guys that's going to hold the jump throughs from getting to the linebackers, that's going to make sure he sits on the double teams to allow his linebackers to flow backwards. Of course, you can go with, Quentin Williams. I think his stats don't really show and indicate how dominant he is, taking on double teams and freeing up the linebacker, C.J. Mosley, and his brother behind him. But, you also have to go with Dexter Sexy Dexy. He plays at a high level. He's a throwback, a big guy. But you can pick anybody off of, Jalen Carter. You can pick a lot of these war daddies on the other end. That's kind of what it has to be. You want to have a man for a man, so you have that extra guy to the hole. These are guys that play at high levels. Chris Jones does it a different way. He's not particularly sitting on it, but he's a one gap penetrator. So you got guys that can keep guys off, but then you got the one gap penetrators like Aaron Donald that gets penetration, that forces the running back to cut back, where it allows the linebacker to stay square and fall back, and understanding that that the running back's reading the 3 technique. Mm-hmm. So you got to appreciate those type of guys, but I'm sure it's plenty that I'm leaving out. But it's a lot of guys playing at a high level. So those name a few.
As a linebacker, though, I feel like the linebacker position doesn't get talked about as much as it used to. It used to always be you got to have a dude that's your middle linebacker, captain of the defense. He's the most feared person out there. Now more emphasis is put on the edge defenders, someone that can get to the quarterback. But in your opinion, who are the best, like the most fearsome middle linebackers in the game right now?
I mean, you still got I'm losing my thought with the guy out there in San Francisco. C.J. Mosley plays at a high level. He's super consistent.
Fred
Raekwon
Warner?
Smith. Yeah, Fred Warner. Raekwon Smith, of course. Bobby Wagner still playing at extremely high level, still getting it done. He's kind of a throwback because now you look at these, linebackers nowadays, they're 235, 240. He's a throwback to a 250, plus size type of guy. Of course, I like Levante David, all those guys down in Tampa. They've been one of the most complete, dynamic dudes, I think, in the game for a long time. Their ability not only to be liability, they're not liabilities on third down, so they don't take one of them out. They leave both of them out there. They don't bring in a dime backer, because they trust them against tight ends, which is usually a mismatch in today's game. So I can really appreciate those guys. And you figure out that you don't have a linebacker. You only know about a linebacker when you don't have one.
Right.
Right. I mean, where would Buffalo be if they had Milano, who was playing at an All-Pro season, and he was probably, that defense was drastically better. He was killing them, right? One of the guys that kind of pop up is the cat from I think is it Logan or something like that for Cincinnati. I like the way that he mans the middle. But you think about where Buffalo would be with Milano, I think they would definitely be a +2, in the win column and still sitting in the driver's seat as far as being able to, not be on the outside looking in this division. It'll be a tighter race.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're talking about Logan Wilson on the Bengals. One thing I like about you, Bart, is that you feel like you played in the league for a long time and you've been in media for a long time, but you hold grudges, and I like that. I like players that hold grudges. So you hate the Patriots. How much fun
I don't
is
really
it?
hate I don't really hate the Patriots. I hate Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick, yeah. So how much fun has it been to watch this Patriots team be this bad this year?
I mean, listen, I remember, when the Patriots were playing the Atlanta Falcons, right? And I can remember trash talking a 12-year-old. And I told him, listen, take your victory lap now that you have a team. Of course, he wasn't from, New England or Boston area, Providence area. He was just a kid that's following the wave. The same difference like when you look up and you see a bunch of Golden State Warrior fans. They're fugazi. They're not real fans. They're just jumping on the wave, the bandwagon, the popular team, right? But the same thing make you laugh, make you cry. So I just wanted to inform this 12-year-old, and it's come to fruition a lot earlier than I thought, that when 12 retired, his life as a Patriots fan would be miserable. So like all the jerseys that he got, enjoy it now, right? I'm sure the same was being said when the guarantee happened with the Jet fans, and Jet fans never knew what lies ahead of them. Well, I think the same thing lies ahead of the Patriots, right? The Patriots are going to go back. They won in their window and they dominated. We'll never see an organization dominate like that again. But for all the people that's not from there, has no reason to be Patriot fans, just jumped on the wave because Tom Brady was popular. He had Giselle. They're winning Super Bowls. Now they're going to live in the misery. And now they're going to figure out what it's like to replace Jim Kelly. They're going to figure out what it's like to try and replace Dan Marino. They're going to see what it's like to try and replace, Joe Namath. And, that's what I love about football, that it's balanced, right? And the football guys always open the windows and close the windows. And the same people that was pounding their chest, chest out like a peacock strutting their stuff, it's now going to realize that they got a life full of misery ahead of them, because that's pathetic over there. And then they're going to walk away just like, Miami had to walk away from Don Shula. And at some point, you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And pretty soon, Bill Belichick is entering the Sith Lord type of realm, where I think that fans are going to start to hate him. They've realized that the Patriot way was more about, Tom Brady than it was him. And they realize what they have in the future, because he ruined Mac Jones. And you're going to trust him to pick another quarterback and develop another quarterback and make his defensive coordinator the offensive coordinator and screw another kid up. You just set yourself up for another 5 years of mediocrity, right? And I'm not sitting here pounding my chest as a Jet fan, because, we haven't figured out either. I mean, Zach Wilson won't be here. I'm sure they'll probably try and take a swing again, but even a blind squirrel finds a nut. And we'll see if what team in this division is able to try and find the answer. For years, it was Buffalo and Miami. Seems like Miami has found their answer. Tua's found a way. Maybe the jiu-jitsu, he's found a way how to fall softly. Or maybe he's found out how to get rid of the ball so quick that he can't get hit. But those two guys have their answer. Their quarterback, we have maybe a temporary Band-Aid on a gunshot wound in Aaron Rodgers. But after that, we'll find ourselves right back where we've always found ourselves, searching for a franchise quarterback.
I like how that started. Like, yeah, I don't hate the Patriots. I just hate Bill Belichick. And then the grudge comes out. Like I said, I like that. I like when players retire and they're in the media and they're not just going to start, like, sucking everyone off. It's like, I have grudges. I have people I hate.
Well, Bill was asked to me on something that had nothing to do with football. So, like, after my career. So, like, listen, I'm an equal opportunist asshole. You know what I'm saying? I'm the can man. Anybody can get it. I don't care who the hell you are. So if he got smoke, we got smoke. So, like, listen, if I see him and he wants some, he can get some. I don't discriminate, age discriminate, or nothing.
Yeah, you said
I don't rock with him.
I think the quote was, you said if Belichick was on fire, you wouldn't piss on him. Would you?
No, not at all.
Do you still wouldn't piss on him?
No, I'll probably try and stump the fire out.
What if he was like, Bart, I'm on fire. I'm sorry for everything I said. Can you please piss on me?
I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Okay.
That wouldn't feel even a little bit good to just piss on Bill Belichick?
No, I'd rather let him burn.
One thing I also appreciate about you is that you have served kind of as like a realistic point of view for Mike Greenberg. Because Greeny needs all these like emotional support animals around him when the Jets start screwing something up. You tell it like it is to him. Can we get a status update on Greeny? Is he okay now?
I mean, listen, he understands this is a failed season. We before yesterday started, we were talking about how everybody that has a backup quarterback. What's up, Ho? We talking about how everybody that has a backup quarterback is sucking, and like nobody's going to make it. And then Brownie does what he does last night, so we got to kind of hit the refresh button and say, maybe it is something to do with the play call and in the discipline and the development, because we saw a backup come up yesterday that had 2 weeks ago never thrown a pass in the NFL in a regular season game, throw for 300 yesterday. So shout out to Cincinnati, because it looks like they still may find a way to sneak in. Now it depends on who's going to fall first. Is it going to be Mitch Trubisky as the backup that kind of ruins the Pittsburgh Steelers season, or will Brownie be able to continue to play at this level to find a way to sneak in? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. The Jets are this whole Zach Wilson thing too. Like, I mean, where do you side on Zach Wilson saying he might not want to play because of the injury risk? Because it does feel like it's over between Zach Wilson and the Jets. So why would he play? Or do you think that that's kind of a soft move?
Well, if he goes with that philosophy, then I think he's going to get a black eye. Because listen, he's set up to be. It's hard. The backup world is already saturated. And if you haven't proved that you can play, then as a backup, you don't have a lot of value. I mean, Baker Mayfield was a backup. Sam Darnold was a backup. They accomplished more as a quarterback than Zach Wilson. So, he's going to have to try and find a place. And the fact that, you kind of gave up on your troops, or it's going to be perceived that you gave up on your troops, you had an opportunity to play football and you decided not to because it was in your best interest. Like, you need to go out there and show that you are that you can play football, you can continue to be a professional, because that's the life of a backup. Backup gets plays, he goes down, he may be, submitted to the practice squad, depending on what the numbers are. So if he doesn't do that and make that decision, it's going, could be detrimental to him as, all these coaches talk. And if he had did everything right, he had went out there, played, did everything he was supposed to do. And now all of a sudden, if he does this, it erases all the good, favor that he got from handling the press conference, right? We knew it was tough for him to be able to accept the blame, most of the blame. Some was his, some was Warner, some was just the fact that, this offense wasn't built for him. And if it doesn't have Aaron Rodgers in it, we've never seen it be successful with Nathaniel Hackett, with anybody not named Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. GMs love to have a guy as a backup quarterback where they can say, like, this guy's a pro. This guy's a professional. And if you do something like saying, I don't really want to play for the rest of the year, I don't want to get hurt, I feel like a lot of GMs are going to look at that and be like, we just want like a stable backup guy, a humble guy that can come in and keep his mouth shut, do his job. And I feel like Zach Wilson's kind of taken himself out of that market a little bit, in addition to what you said, like never actually being that good in the games.
Well, what about the fact that all the times that the defense still had his back after he had bad performances,
right. Yeah.
They continued to go out there and support him publicly, even though, they were frustrated with some of his play. So, really those are the guys that you're telling you, I don't want to get hurt. Well, what are they saying is, they didn't say, hey, I don't want to go out there because Zach, can't play. We can't put points up. So I don't want to get hurt because I'm a free agent. They went out there and tried to win and do their part So if he doesn't do his
Yeah.
part, I think it's going to be a black eye
That's
for him.
fair.
So we'll see if Aaron Rodgers' words reportedly reaching out to him, but the fact that this report is out here, I think the damage is already done.
So we've talked about this with the Jets this year, and you played on some defenses where the offense wasn't that great. How much pressure is it on a defense when you get on the field on Sunday and you know that your offense is not going to score more than like 10, 14 points? Do you feel it game to game where you're like, we have to be perfect, otherwise we don't have a chance to win?
I mean, we always had good kickers, so we knew that we can manufacture some scores, and we knew that if we got turnovers, we really practiced on pitching the ball and getting in because we knew if our offense got it. No, seriously. Like, if you ever watch any of our Ravens games, you see Ed Reed, you see multiple pitches. You see everybody. It was organized. It wasn't something that we were just doing, sporadically. We set up a perimeter. The guy who was closest to the intended receiver, make sure that somebody blocks the intended receiver so he can't tackle from behind. We got to our nearest side. We got to the nearest sideline. Guys peeled back, and guys went and looked for the athletes, and we left the offensive lineman to whoever was returning the ball. If you look at the Ed Reed touchdowns, the Ray Lewis touchdowns, the DeJuan Landry touchdowns, the Chad Williams touchdowns, they were all orchestrated, and it looked like a kickoff return.
Yeah,
and that's because we practiced it and we worked on it. It can go all the way back to Ravens was one of the first teams that people can remember on Monday Night Football against Denver, where Chris McAllister went back on a long field goal and took it back to the house.
Yep.
Like nothing that we did was by happenstance. It was all premeditated and understood and worked out.
Yeah.
It was very, very fun to watch. So I want to bring up something. Maybe it might be a little sore subject. The butt fumble. The butt fumble, because I've always wondered about that game.
I think it's the most overrated incident. Just because you give it a cool name, don't mean that
it's a very cool name. It's a very cool name.
Cool name, and also
Right.
he did run into the guy's ass.
Yeah, he did.
But okay. He ran into the back of his lineman who was being pushed back by arguably one of the greatest deep tackles in the game, and Vince Wilfork.
Right.
So of course he's scrambling, and the guy gets pushed back into him. We've seen guys get tackled plenty of times by getting pushed back. We saw the Jets get a safety by pushing a lineman back and tackling the running back. It's happened so many times that you can't even name it. But because you put a name on it, like butt fumble, then it makes it seem like, oh, it's cool and like it's something that's rare.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. He's not the first guy to fumble because somebody pushed back the defense.
But he ran into his butt.
His face kind of ran into his ass.
The butt part.
You're not picking up on how funny the ass part is.
No, I get it. But
I don't know if you do get it. No, he ran into his butt.
Yeah. It's a big ass, right? It's a big person. So of course, if he runs to the back, if you run into the back of somebody and they're bent over, their ass is the farthest thing away.
Yeah,
so
but it's still the ass.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
but
I think it's one of the overrated things. They try and have the anniversary and stuff like that. It happens all the time. You heard Mark Sanchez talk about it in week 1. Like, oh, so guy runs into the guy and fumbles the ball. Oh, what a coinky dink.
but from your perspective, because I know that you don't hold back. And when you get to the locker room and you watch the replay for the first time, did anybody?
I never saw the replay.
You should watch it. It's very funny.
That's why you don't know how
it's
funny.
really funny. It's really funny.
I've seen it since then. I know it's Brandon Moore.
Yeah.
But when it happened, I never even I just knew he fumbled. How did he fumble? He ran into the lineman. Like
so the butt. You're missing the butt part. You still don't got it.
It's a big ass. It's a big ass. I mean, I played with Haloti Nada and Chris Jenkins. You know how many times I've seen guys get knocked down and fumble because he threw people into him, and I'm sure their ass is the part that tackled him. It was common practice, for the defensive tackles that I played with.
Yeah.
Right. You try to run a zone scheme, you get pushed back, tackle with the ass.
So no one made a joke about it to Mark afterwards. Like I could imagine somebody like trying to take the air out of the situation, making the first joke, and Mark just like staring at him and be like, "Dude, don't joke about that right now."
Listen, I don't think anybody on the team ever like even really associated that he got tackled by ass. It's only when like it goes on the media. But I feel like the Jets are one of those organizations where like people just look to crack jokes about, and I don't understand like the national hate. Why Peyton Manning, with his big ass forehead and looking like Lurch and looking like Frankenstein, himself would ever have like a joke at a country awards, when at that time the organization that he played for was a bigger joke with what was going on with the Broncos early in the season than when he made the joke about the Jets, who had just beat the Philadelphia Eagles. So, but yet, I don't know why Peyton Manning hates the Jets so much. You can hear it whenever he comes on and he does his Manning cast. like even when they're winning, like they beat the Buffalo Bills, but you wouldn't think that they were going to beat the Buffalo Bills based on how Peyton and Eli was talking about them. I have no idea. You know, he also gave us Adam Gase, which was a Manchurian candidate who like definitely was brought in here to ruin the organization. Peyton Manning refused to come here, right? So that's another thing that he's done. So like I have no idea why he hates the Jets so much and why he thinks like the Jets. Like listen, so I don't understand it, right? Because I came from an organization that's well respected in the Baltimore Ravens. So like all this, like it just seems like people like to make the Jets the butt of the joke. Like, listen, I have to own up to that. I have to be a part of that because, I'm a part of that history. But when I played outside the Butt Fumble, you can't say any of the teams that I played on was a joke.
Oh, you were good.
I think the NFL and everybody took that team very seriously, whether we fell short or not. We had respectability. But, I don't get why everybody, Jets, Mets, Knicks, like they're just easy punching bags, not just for people like in the division, but I think people as a whole just like to clown them. And I never got it, but, you never understood it. Maybe it goes back to something, far, far before I even start paying attention to sports. But it's like those teams like get clowned. Like those teams get clowned more than the Lions. I'm a Lions fan. I'm from Detroit. The Lions have been the worst organization in the history of sports, them and the Cleveland Browns, and they don't get the national hate, I think, because people are envious of the fact that it's a New York team. They think that New Yorkers are arrogant because they're supposed to have the best of everything, but they haven't won any titles to really suggest who they are, right? If you think title time, you would think Boston, right? You would think those teams are Los Angeles teams that have had more. Well, Philly hadn't won a Super Bowl. They were the last team within the division to ever win a Super Bowl.
That's true.
The Sixers are okay, but they've been, the process has been a failed experiment as well.
Facts.
So
Phillies.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait.
Phillies didn't win anything. Yeah. No, you're right.
Philadelphia Union. No.
It is the Jets do.
It was Boston. Boston was title for a long time between the Bruins and Red Sox and the 2000s, early 2000s was basically based in Boston.
Yeah. One of our guys that we love, who we think is elite, came back to the NFL this week, Joe Flacco. You played with him for a year. You played against him when you were on the Jets. How did you ever stop and be like, damn, he throws such a nice spiral? Because he really does.
Yeah, I used to call him Frida, and Fucko was his nickname for my nickname for him. And well, people don't know that he came in the league and he came in the league like Anthony Davis. He has a full-grown unibrow, and so I used to call him Frida. That was my nickname for him. Of course, people know my nickname for Mark Sanchez was Nacho. But Flacco, that's when I stopped calling him when he threw a 15-yard out, which is the hardest ball to throw. It's the farthest ball, and he threw it on point. I stopped calling him Fucko. I kept calling him Frida, but I stopped calling him Fucko.
Yeah, he does have, I think, the nicest spiral in the NFL, and that's something that
he has one of the strongest arms. He has one of the strongest arms in the history of football, in my opinion. And Carson Palmer before he hurt had the Tommy John, same difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read a story that you got suspended one time for eating an apple. Is that true?
No, you guys went deep into the archives, right? They call it Bart Scott's Fearful Beginnings. It's well documented. I mean? I had a defense coordinator that was an asshole, and he decided to focus on me eating an apple, while we're getting our ass kicked. And me and him was the only ones in there because he had benched me, and he tried to smack the apple in my hand, and there's certain things that you can do to me, but being from Detroit and being built on respect, culture not, we're gonna challenge that authority when you stand over me as a grown ass man at that point, 19 years old. And so I was ready for the smoke, right? So like, he didn't want to smoke. He acted like he wanted to smoke, but I ended up getting kicked off the team. That kind of hurt me because people didn't know who I was. They thought I was like a bad person. Didn't understand that I had committed to Michigan State, that I turned down a scholarship to Michigan State. And that's a whole nother story within itself. But, that guy tried to kiss my ass years later when he was a member of Morgan State, tried to tell everybody that he had coached me because at that point I was a starter for the Ravens, and he was trying to impress the staff in Morgan State by saying, I coached him. And we had a receiver that delivered the message to me, so I delivered the message back. And, he's trying to hold court with his guys, right, where people come from different places. They're trying to act like they're big time. And he was like, oh, I told Bart you said hi. And he's like, oh, yeah, what'd he say? He said, when you see him in the streets, he's going to kick your ass. He ain't forgot about shit. And to this date, if I see Mike Biden in the streets, I'm going to smack the shit out of him. Because he tried to take a dream from a kid
Yeah.
that was just trying to play hard and wasn't doing anything wrong. And I'm not the only guy he did it against, but that led to some other stuff. Jerry Kill.
Jerry Kill, all-time football guy. I love Jerry Kill.
So Jerry Kill, when the Ravens came and people had questions about my character, told the Baltimore Ravens, who were the only team that came and scouted me, that if he died today, he would be honored if I raised his children. So that erased all doubts about my character, who I've never, even post-career, never heard my name in any controversy, anything at all, right? I've always been clean, straight down the middle. I just don't take no shit.
Yeah, Jerry Kill, that's a big thing from Jerry Kill because football almost killed him. He had seizures and he just loves football so much. He's like, I got to keep coaching football.
Yeah, I talk to him all the time.
He's the best.
He's a football lifer.
Yeah.
I don't think you have grudges. I think you just remember facts.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think you remember things that happen and you don't forget them.
Well, you do that, you keep that energy for life. So, Bill, Mike Vite, I don't care.
On site.
Listen,
Peyton Manning. Would you piss on Peyton Manning if he was on fire?
Well, no, I don't mind Peyton, right? You know what I'm saying? I just don't. The hate is one thing, but I don't dislike Peyton Manning. I love Peyton Manning. I think he's one of the funniest dudes ever. I think his personality belongs on the face of Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady's supposed to be the cool, funny, cool guy, right? But Tom is opposite, and actually Peyton is the funniest guy. You know what I mean? The cool guy, the guy you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Right. Because his personality, right? Who knew that him and Eli had this type of talent, the dry, sarcastic humor. You know what I mean? They're like the football version of Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Well, how many times, I know you got to run in a second, how many times do people on a given day just yell, can't wait at you?
I get it all the time. It's kind of like, Icky with the Icky shuffle. You know what I mean? I can remember seeing Icky, and Icky was like, guys still coming to him asking him to do the Icky shuffle. He's like, man, I'm 40, man. I don't do the Icky shuffle no more. You know what I mean? But I don't mind can't wait. I mean, especially around here, they haven't had much to replace it. So, we hold on to it. I think Richard Sherman tried to do a similar interview later, but it didn't come off as authentic, and the punchlines wasn't flowing as well.
Yeah.
Either, but he tried his attempt. The reports are that he had did it already with the Spanish network, and then he actually recreated it.
Oh no!
But I like Sherman. You know what I mean? I like he speaks his mind. And listen, I would like to think that because he saw mine, that he felt great to express. And I would think that the reporters went over there because they were hoping, knowing that me and him had similar personalities, that he could be able to spit some hot fire. Now, you know what I mean? It's not quite the ether that I put out there as far as the bars. If you break down the bars, you'll realize that it was some the can't wait is the punchline, but the poetic justice, the nosebleed, and all that type of stuff was actually the hottest bars it probably was ever spit in a post-career rant. So I'll own that.
That's great. All right, I know you got to run. This has been awesome, Bart. We appreciate it. You're welcome back on anytime. Also, how awesome was Jim Leonard at football?
Jim Leonard was great at football. I think, Jim Leonard being hurt really stopped us from being able to win the Super Bowl. The fact that he was out, if we'd have had him or Chris Jenkins just healthy in any of those, NFC playoff, those AFC championships, we'd have won with Jim Leonard. But if we'd had Chris Jenkins, it wouldn't even been close.
Wow.
My last question, just how awesome is it being named Bart? That must have been pretty cool when
Bartholomew
the came out.
Well, actually, it's Bartholomew. My dad's name is Bartholomew. My son's name is Bartholomew. So it's
love that.
It's the same. One thing about Bartholomew is I get to the interview before they realize I'm black.
It's Bartholomew. Yeah, Bart is a great name.
At that point, it's too late. If you go with all those 80s babies, DeAndre and Devontae, Dalvin, all that shit, they deny those interviews. They don't even get to the building, so I'm all good.
I did my research on you. I knew that you were African-American before we started this.
Yes.
You didn't think so.
I did. I knew. I know.
Well, Bart,
you didn't know if I was Wayne Brady black, or you didn't know if I was Wesley Snipes black. Now you got your answer.
I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment on that, but that's fair.
Yeah, Bart, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you coming on. We'd love to have you on again, and good luck with your radio show today.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Bart Scott was brought to you by Omaha Steaks. The holidays are here. Let Omaha Steaks take the guesswork out of gifting. Shop carefully curated gift packages. They're guaranteed to make spirits bright all winter long. Go to omahasteaks.com and save 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off site-wide. Plus, when you use promo code PMT at checkout, you get an additional $30 off your order. That's a huge deal. Massive savings. Send tender, juicy, butcher's cut filet mignons, mouth-watering burgers, jumbo gourmet franks, or even easy-to-prepare meals that are ready in a flash. With Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. This offer won't last long. Omaha Steaks is ready to ship your order right away, so shop early. Beat the shipping rush. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code PMT at checkout. It's great if you're having family over for the holidays. Great as a gift. If you don't know what to get somebody, get them the gift of meat. What a great gift to give. Omaha Steaks is a gift from the heart. It's a gift that's going to be remembered with every unforgettable bite. Order with complete confidence today, knowing that you're ordering the very best. I had Omaha Steaks delivered when I had a beach house back in Jersey. I would get a couple boxes of Omaha Steaks each summer. Keep the house fed. Delicious. Awesome for the grill. Great to put in the oven. Visit omahasteaks.com. Take advantage of 50% off site-wide. Plus, use promo code PMT at checkout. Get that extra $30 off your order. Minimum order may be required. Simply go to omahasteaks.com and achieve gifting greatness today. And now, time for Firefest of the Week.
Okay, Firefest time. PFT, Jake and I, do you guys want to go real quick? Because I think it's really Hank and Max.
Yeah, I can forfeit my speaking.
Yeah, I don't
time
really
on
have
this one.
anything.
I just got. I'm really tired today.
Yeah.
Like today, it's been an exhausting week.
Yeah.
And today we
Same.
just worked pretty much nonstop.
I slept like 6 hours last night.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I had like 7 hours, but I need my 8.
Yeah.
You know that.
Need my
So
8.
I'm basically running on like less than fumes right now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go home. Just, probably take a long weekend.
Yeah.
Recuperate, rejuvenate my body. I'm
Yeah.
just exhausted.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't recover, when you're
No, it takes a couple days.
Mhm.
Max and Hank, do you guys have a Firefest for us?
I'll let Max go. I mean,
He's like he. You've never looked more like Hagrid.
yeah, no, Max is in a worse state right now than I am.
He's on
Max didn't sleep. Hank slept for 5 hours.
False.
How many hours was it, Max?
I don't know.
I'll tell the story. We did a 24-hour stream. It was a lot of fun. Thank you to everyone that tuned in.
It was awesome.
It
that
was,
everyone
it was
tuned
good
in, yes.
good vibes with the chat. This was at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Me and Max were just loopy hours, having some laughs, messing around with the chat. They kept asking us to kiss, take our tarps off, and just asking all types of ridiculous stuff. And we had the timer that was like 17 hours, 18 hours. And I was starting to get tired. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had been up all day. I was like, I know if I don't sleep for a little bit, I'm going to want to die. Like, by the time Big Cat and PFT come back, they're going to be awake. I'm going to be tired, and they're just going to be, like, making us do stuff. I'm going to be miserable. So I made a deal with the chat. If I kissed Max's gout toe, that I could sleep. I was like, if I do that, can I sleep? And they're like, yep.
It's not gout, Hank.
We made a deal, not gout, whatever.
It's diabetes.
Not diabetes.
So I kissed his toe, fell asleep for like 2 hours, I think, and that made a huge difference. I woke up 7 o'clock. We started doing karaoke. But by the end of the day, I still had a little bit of energy, a little bit of momentum. Like, you can go one day on a little bit of sleep.
Yeah.
Going a full day and a half on 0 sleep,
which is what Max is doing,
is what Max did. And as the day was going forward, I just watched his body die in the last like 4 hours. He just wasn't like a human being.
Yeah, no, he
was just a body.
The lights were on. Nobody was home. Now, Max, this would really be a horrific turn of events if, for some reason, you forgot to push the button.
I'm going to push a button.
And you ended up with a 2-year soul patch.
I wouldn't. I'm going to push it.
How are you going to – what do you have in place right now to make sure the button's pushed?
Well, I'm just not going to leave this place until it's up.
Okay, so other people will be around you?
Yeah.
Do you have a spotter?
I don't know.
I think you should have a spotter. Also, Max, Hank, you guys did an awesome job.
It was incredible.
You guys were great. Memes is a fucking soldier.
Yes.
Memes stayed up the entire time, too, helping to produce it, which we didn't ask him to do, but Memes was like, I'm going to do this.
He was killing
and
it.
he did the shit out of it. So
Evan and Shane,
also
too,
Evan and
big
Shane
time.
just crushed it. So it was, but Max, man, like I walked away from the stream with a newfound appreciation for Max.
You were MVP.
MVP. I call him Max Delente West because that dude's a motherfucker.
If we have an MVP, do we have to have an LVP?
I guess you kind of have to.
All right, so Max is the MVP.
Uh-huh.
Who else was
Hank
in?
and I
Who
were a
else
team
was
in
in?
there.
Who else was in the stream?
Hank and I were.
I think
a team
Hank was in
there.
there.
Yeah, I don't mind. Listen, Max.
And listen, go ahead. Sorry.
Max was MVP.
Yeah. And you guys did it. You did all 22 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Big stream.
Yeah,
We
there-
did.
So
what you
when are we
guys-
going to do the 24-hour stream?
I mean, you guys told us if we did it. I guess you
I
already got
know.
to that point.
I know.
Uh,
I
wait,
did say when you guys got out, I was like, I can't believe they got out or they left early because they have to know I'm going to bring it up.
Weren't the terms?
I didn't give off.
Weren't the
I
terms
know.
24 hours?
24
Is that what you
hours.
said?
They did 22 and a half.
I don't
So
think
close.
Well, you guys gave us things to do. And I think I did a great job. The people that watched will say I was complaint free. So was Max. We were just complete
Yeah, it was
soldiers.
just the time when we were doing picks and preview and PFT was doing his ads, and then I pulled up the chat and everyone was calling me Hitler. That was there was
can't
no
control the
complaints.
chat.
No.
one complained to get that happening.
The chat was awesome.
I said me
because
personally.
the chat fucked with you guys a little bit, but in a funny way.
Yeah.
And you guys did accomplish, like, they turned on me and Big Cat. They're like, these guys are the ones that are the puppet masters.
Yeah, we came out of taping the show, and Max and Hank were like, "You guys did a poll," and we're like, "No, we've been taping the show." And like, "Fuck, the chat got us." So the chat might be the MVP too because they're very funny. The chat is always so fucking funny in those things.
And also, please stop calling him Hank Vick. We've moved on past that. He
did hit Blake.
He did do a Marty McSorley and hit my dog in the head with a hockey stick, but that's okay. We've moved on.
I apologize to Blake and a lot of people. Again, like I take full responsibility. I was trying to take all the ownership completely. There was a lot of people, not me, that were saying like PFT let his dog go off a leash into a game that we were basically playing to the death. And if you scored a goal, then you won a massive prize. And
What was
Blake
the prize again?
jumped like 10 minutes of phone time, and Blake jumped in front of the ball. I did hit him, and I did feel very bad. And I take full responsibility. So the people saying like that's kind of on the owner for putting his dog in that situation, I disagree with.
I halfway agree. I think it's 50% on me, 50% on Hank.
I'll take full ownership.
Max, I want to hear from
Okay.
you though, because you are running on more than fumes. What's going on? What's going on in the head right now?
Not a lot going on. And then this head of mine,
BMCs.
BMCs was the thing that got brought up.
What was BMCs?
I don't know.
That's between me and the demon hours of the chat.
What's BMCs?
Yes, tell us
for
what
the
BMCs.
fun.
Memes, what's BMCs?
Big meaty clackers.
Max had like his camel, there was a close-up shot of his camel toe. I was like, "Damn, dude, you got some big ass nuts." And he was like, "Yeah, my friends used to call them the big meaty clackers."
Thing about Max is he's got huge balls.
The BMCs.
Now the whole titty fucking thing makes sense. Why you can't do
You
it?
can't fit him.
It's just two of those clackers.
BMCs.
Who's fucking who? Okay, so Max, you were
Max
incredible.
could definitely titty fuck somebody with his nuts.
Yeah, he's titty fucking his own dick. He just tucks it down.
He just draws nipples on each ball and starts going up and down.
That would hurt.
Yeah, you don't like titty fucking because it's just looking at your own penis every day. All right, so Max, yeah, like, are you? You guys were troopers. 24 hours in that room was crazy.
Yeah.
Did you start to just lose time and space? What point was it like? Where the fuck are we?
Mine, it was probably one of the highlights was, I don't know what time it was. Obviously, we were in a room with no windows, and I did sleep for a little bit, but I woke up. I was delirious. We played a game, and then we just started doing karaoke. It was probably like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. You guys came in to get karaoke. Will came in, and it was just one of those, I was like kind of tired, kind of got energy, and just started screaming, singing. Just went all in, and that was like one of the. And then I was watching the clip back. I was like, "This is funny." I was like, "I think this was at 8 a.m."
Yeah,
It was pretty early.
First thing in the morning, we were just doing karaoke.
Yeah, overnight, like, I know that we probably shouldn't have started it at 9 p.m., but it was very funny leaving you guys, where you guys were like kind of angry about the situation, still had some pep, and then coming back in the morning, and it was like we just came into two different people. You're just like, we're just grizzled vets. Like,
Yeah.
don't fuck with us. We've already reached the point of no return.
When I left, Hank was very salty about putting together the IKEA furniture, to the point where Hank, in protest, just took a hammer and started just beating the one like wooden piece with it. And you're like, I'm building. Are you happy? The facilities here aren't up to my code. And then
Facilities were fucked.
in the morning when I woke up, the first thing that I saw was the picture of the shelf that Max built overnight, and it's the funniest fucking shelf I've ever seen. 'Cause, like, you put all the pieces together, but they don't fit at all.
Yeah.
I thought that I was walking out of that with the perfectly built dresser. And then it was like you built everything separately, and then once you put them together, that's like what made the final dresser. And I had each piece, and I was working on it for 6 hours. I started at 11 p.m., finished it at 5 a.m., and it was like a moment. I like turned to memes. I was like, memes, I did it, man. I finally made the dresser. It's gonna happen. And then I put all the cabinets into the thing and just immediately just started to crumble. Like something like it was legitimately from a movie.
Oh.
Like when Jerry walked in and he looked at that dresser, it was one of those laughs that like I'll remember that laugh forever.
Yeah.
He was like, this is the cabinet.
It looked like Homer Simpson's spice rack. And then
I was so mad you guys didn't give us chairs to build. That was all night long.
Yeah, we
Why
should've-
the fuck
we
didn't
should've
we build
done that.
chairs?
Well, we actually were thinking practically. We're like, when we did the meeting before, we're like, we could probably use like a dresser or a drawer here and maybe a TV stand. So there was practical use to it, just not in the moment. Yeah, you guys crushed it. I thought that was very fun. I mean, we have some more bets coming up, but that one was a very fun one.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. I would say the two lowlights, sneaky, shouldn't seem as bad, but the puzzle was brutal.
Oh, you came in. I came in. Max had built half his puzzle, and Hank just looked at me and like snarled, and he's like, "Did you fuck with my puzzle?" I was like,
never
"Dude,
built a
I
puzzle.
didn't even fucking
Ever.
buy these." Because you guys reached a point where
That
you
was the
thought
toughest,
everything we did was fucking.
Well, the
with you.
bag was open.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
I don't think we fucked with you that bad.
No, but I was on high alert. But really, the worst thing that we did that still is probably going to be the thing that affects me the most throughout the weekend was playing knee hockey to start.
Yeah,
My knees fucking kill. Like
knee
they're all
hockey
scratched
was
up.
so funny though.
Every time I stand up, it hurts, and like every time I'm moving, like they're all torn up. 'cause they're, like, going
Max-
hard.
first shower
Max
is going to
just-
hurt really bad too.
yeah, Max in front of that goal was just so funny.
Yeah.
He looked like he had diapers on.
Oh yeah, you were wearing the pants.
So I was wearing the pants, and then I was also wearing shorts underneath because I was worried about climate control over the next 24 hours.
DMCs.
Yeah,
So,
you had a moment where you're standing in front of the goal and the pants are so ridiculous that there was no 5-hole.
0 5 holes. It was great strategy by me. And then I took them off and went straight knee to the thinnest carpet of all time. It was basically kneaded cement. Like it was. We were so excited for knee hockey at first, and then by the end of it, we were like, we were gonna go first to 100, and then we're like, let's do first to 7.
Smart. And first to 7 took like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Took
Not
a while.
Yeah.
What about the paintings? How do we feel? The paintings are right behind
Yeah.
you. I like
you guys
that.
did a good job with these paintings.
Max's painting's really nice. Look at that. We got the Black
beautiful.
Mountain, and then we got the
That's
Sand
pretty
Mountain.
good. Yeah, that's where Max in the middle of Bob Ross. He's like, look at these facilities Bob Ross has, and then I just, it's like, we have shitty facilities.
Facility issue.
Facilities became the word of the day. Yeah, great job though, guys.
Also,
I know the AWLs appreciate it because you guys were very, very entertaining for 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of people watching in the middle of the night. That always blows my mind because we were just loopy as fuck.
Well,
I did
there's probably
sleep talk and yell at memes in my
Yeah,
sleep completely.
that's so funny.
Would you
was
say,
like-
don't you fucking try it, man?
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear that from him?
Don't even fucking think about it, memes.
Did you hear that? What? Is he sleep talking?
I unprompted. I was completely asleep. I watched the clip back. I was like, yeah, no, I don't. This wasn't even like half conscious. I just was like, don't even fucking think about it, memes.
Oh my god. Well, you guys crushed it. That was fun.
Yeah, Jake, you did a good job too. Jake was on
Yes.
top of everything.
Jake was a saver on the Madden because the Madden was lagging, and he came in and announced
Thanks.
it. It was good, and yeah, it was a good time. We have another one coming up with the pancakes, so that will be. It won't be 24 hours, but it would probably will be 8 to 10, considering
It'll be a while, yeah.
someone has to eat
Take a while.
24 pancakes.
Yeah.
That's actually huge that Hank's gonna win it because Hank eats so slow.
Yeah, and he can just mock us now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
if I had to
it's
do the
reverse.
pancake, it would be probably longer than 24.
Yeah.
I'm in second.
Well,
you-
no,
if
because
you-
it's 1 hour off every time you finish a pancake.
Oh, right.
Right. So
I think you'd probably eat like 4 pancakes. You're not a big eater.
Oh, I got it.
yeah. So it's like it will most likely whoever loses has to eat 24 or doesn't have to eat 24 pancakes. They have to do 24 hours or pancakes. So realistically, it will probably be like an 8-hour stream because you probably can't eat more than like 16 pancakes.
I did take when I was doing the phone calls, I took my picks because it means like we need your picks. I was on the phone. I was like, give me a over, give me a spread. So my picks are just from some random dude that was calling. and I've already accepted the loss, and I started to practice my set, and I think the 24-hour stream is going to pale in comparison to how bad.
I liked your stand-up. Your stand-up was good.
That's going to be tough.
The thing you did about Dave and how he takes more than one bite, that was good.
What's the deal with that?
What is the deal? No one ever talks about that. It's called one bite. It tastes like 4 or 5.
That's going to
And
be great.
PFT's tat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got
Shout out
tatted.
I got
Mitch does
tats.
great.
I'm kind of
Instagram.
addicted to tats now. I'm a tat guy.
You can't get just one.
I'm probably going to get several more on this. I switched it
want
up
one now, too.
at the last second. I went left arm instead of right arm. It was like spur of the moment. And then I'm just like right arm. I can do the swaggy P, right arm strictly for buckets.
Yeah.
And also Mitch, the tat guy. So he comes in the studio after we're done. And he wants to like check out the studio, take some pictures. He was an awesome dude. Check him out. Mitch does tats. And I was like, hey, you want to pick a lotto ball? He's like, sure. He's wearing a Brian Branch jersey, number 32 on the lines. He's like, I'll take 32. Jake was in here as a witness. Jake ran the machine. He looked away. Mitch got 32.
Incredible.
And so then we're like, well, I'm going to bet on Mitch to score a touchdown tonight. It's
Incredible.
a sign. And Mitch scored.
Yeah. And then didn't win.
Then didn't win. Didn't throw a pick 6, though.
Didn't throw a pick 6. Never thrown a pick 6. Okay. So let's do it. Let's finish the show. Good job, Max and Hank. Proud of you boys. Numbers.
8.
39.
18.
71.
Also from some
20.
random Stella Blue purchaser.
39.
39.
What's yours, Max?
20.
What'd you say, Max?
20.
Okay.
Shane 10.
77. Pug.
Pug.
I am Pug.
The pug chants were so good.
I have 71. 78.
Oh,
Pug. Oh, so close. 78.
Love you guys.
Pug.
Pug.